see what I've been watching recently. And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Another stream. Stay Gold stream. We got Matt, Alex, Noah, Joe. Squad back.
What up?
We got 3 Linklater films here to talk about. Got a few more topics of conversation, some revolving around Halloween. It's the spooky month. Time to watch some spooky movies. Yeah, and then we'll probably just talk.
3 coming out next week, so
Isn't it like a Christmas movie?
It's Christmas themed.
Christmas, okay. So
yeah,
just doing it early.
Terrifier 3?
Yeah,
Man, that looks like fucking garbage, man.
Hey, I need you to watch the first 2 and then come back to me, all right?
I mean, have you seen
It's
the
an
trailer
experience.
for Terrifier 3? It looks so fucking bad.
Is it looks, good bad or is it just
it
bad?
looks like a Terrifier movie.
But like, I mean, I don't know.
Got a
I've
cult
been
following.
gaining a new appreciation for horror, and like that's not the horror that I like.
It's a different type of horror.
So,
I mean, it's seriously some of the most like creepy clown shit, but it's just mainly torture porn, gore, out the wazoo.
Saw shit.
My brother told me, he recommended that to me, and he was like, "Yeah, some of those images like scarred me." I was like, I sat there, I was like, "What am I watching?"
God damn.
Yeah, I'm not usually huge on those ones, but
yeah, I was like, "No Saw, right?" He's like, "No."
If the concept is cool, though.
Yeah, I
guess
haven't
maybe
seen any of the Saw movies. I know it's like
0?
insane, but like,
I
don't know. I've
seen just the one. I haven't seen.
like the first 3, I think.
I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
They devolved into torture porn.
There. Yeah.
Twisted shit. Speaking of twisted shit, Joe, you want to bring up the Halloween plan you got then? What's the idea?
Yeah, pretty much like so I told you guys about like those great courses or whatever in like our group chat. And I saw this one like a couple days ago that was basically called like Dracula, and it was like about vampires and like the origins of Dracula and vampires and shit, and like the influence that Dracula, like the book, has had on like media throughout like since its conception basically. And I don't know, it gave me like an idea of like a series of movies. This is just like what I came up with, and this is probably what I'm gonna do. You guys don't have to do this if you don't want to. But it's basically just like the evolution of Dracula through the years, like through like media. So like we would start with like the original Nosferatu, like the 1922 version, which I looked on Letterboxd. I guess Matt, you've already seen it.
I did.
It's supposed to be just like black and white, no
silent film, I think, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like it's supposed to be like it's not like a direct adaptation of Dracula, but like it's basically where they just like change names and shit. And like it just takes place at the castle instead of going back to England, I think. But then we'd move on to like the actual Bram Stoker's Dracula 1992, Francis Ford Coppola. Because I don't know. There's like multiple different ones, but I think that one is like the main one.
It's pretty definitive.
I think it's like a little bit different from the book, like the novelization, which I also like started listening to that on audiobook today. So I was gonna like listen to that first before I did all these. And I guess like that one's kind of different because like there's like a romance between Dracula and one of the characters, which doesn't happen in the book. So like I don't know.
Typical movie shit.
So like this is where I think I would hook at least Alex. Like the next thing after that, it came out today, and I've read the reviews. I haven't seen it yet because apparently the new Salem's Lot iteration is supposed to be like kind of bad. But like still, Salem's Lot, like the original book, is supposed to be like a loose modern day adaptation of Dracula. So like that's like, I don't know, in my opinion, the natural progression.
There's an old Salem's Lot movie too.
Yeah, I mean we can watch that instead too.
Is it like a short series or a movie, something like that?
Yeah. But then the last thing, which like is kind of maybe getting in the weeds, would be Midnight Mass. Because like that was the first of Mike Flanagan's things that I watched, and I'm just like, this is totally his version of Salem's Lot. So like it's like I don't know, there's like levels, you know, because like it's like off of Salem's Lot, which is off of Dracula, and it's like I don't know, you have like a bunch of different like levels of it, I guess. So like
interpretation.
That was probably like the list I was gonna do, but there are also like a couple other things we could throw in if you wanted. But like, the one other one I was thinking was The Last Voyage of the Demeter, because like
Mhm.
that is actually
yeah.
out of the book, like because he does come to England on that boat. But I don't know. I don't know how many of you. I know Matt, you've at least seen it. I don't know about the rest of you, but like it
I didn't
wasn't
watch
very
that
good,
one.
right?
No.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that one
So
nobody really watched that one when it came
I
out.
kind of heard. I mean, we can watch it. We can add it
My
to the
mom
list.
watched it.
Yeah. What did she
Yeah.
think?
She said it was fine.
Oh,
She's pretty easy to please though these days
Mm.
when it comes to movies. So
Mm.
dude, and then
Okay.
the other one, which nobody wants to watch because like I watched kind of in and out of it the first time, which is Renfield, came out last year.
that movie
yeah.
is fucking ass.
It's so fucking bad.
Don't make me
but
do it.
now that I've like listened to this like course and started listening to like the book and like know more about the actual book, like Dracula, I didn't realize watching the movie that like Renfield is a sequel to the book Dracula,
Yeah.
which like I don't went right over my head. But also,
That's what
it's
100
just,
years
like,
will do to your content. You know.
well, I guess like
Yeah,
what like it's like people who like would have read that book or like know about the story of Dracula, I don't think are going to be the same people watching that movie. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
We're
it's
alive
like,
anymore.
why
Nick
would you
Cage.
even make like that connection between the two?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. But also, I think it's interesting because like the new Robert Eggers Nosferatu, the guy who plays Renfield is in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And like I think that there's a character in Nosferatu that's basically the same version of Renfield. And I wonder
Yeah.
if it's like the same character that he's like basically
That
the
would
same
be
character
interesting.
that he's playing. So
Kinda
I don't
looks
know.
like it.
That would be kind of cool. So yeah, I guess that's like my idea that I had. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, or I will just do it. But you know,
Where does From Dusk Till Dawn fit into this equation?
Good
shit,
question.
I don't
Good
know.
question.
I mean, realistically, I was sticking to just like Dracula, but like you can spin off into so many different like vampire things. Like dude,
Yeah.
also,
Daybreakers,
the
classic movie.
connections I found
Yeah.
to like Castlevania, the series, like of just like vampire shit in general, because like I think that basically the Castlevania show, like the animated show, is like it pulls things from so many different sources because like it has like this love story between Dracula and like his wife, and that's why he like loses his shit. And I think that that's kind of the premise of the Bram Stoker's like the Francis Ford Coppola version. But then also like Carmilla, the character, there's like a book called Carmilla that's about like a female vampire that was written before Dracula, like that, like in like the 1850s or some shit. And it was like apparently there was like this romance between Carmilla and this other like woman. And it's like this book came out in the 1850s and it's showing like two women like having a
edgy,
romantic relationship.
dude.
It was just fucking crazy.
Nice.
It's hot then. It's
So
hot
like that's
now.
in Castlevania. But then also like the Varney dude who comes in the later seasons, who like turns out to be Death in disguise. There's also like a different like Varney the Vampire book that came out like years before Dracula too. So it's just like I feel like they probably really did a lot of research for that show that just like also would go over
Yeah.
people's heads because who the fuck would know that? Like
Yeah.
who's watching that show? You know what
It's
I mean?
deep.
Like
Yeah.
so I don't know. I just like I learned a lot of cool, just weird vampire shit related to Dracula and media. So
Did you recently become a vampire, or is this a lot of
no, I didn't.
research?
I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to
some-
get
Your
to it.
blinds are closed.
Yeah. I
Uh,
like coming in there.
Yeah.
I'd be down to do a section of that. I'd say I definitely want to watch Francis Ford Coppola's version.
Yeah.
I'd
And
be
I
willing to
did check,
rewatch the old one.
like the old
Nosferatu.
one, I think it is only like 90 minutes. So
Mhm.
like I mean it's at least not like super long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
I
need to
don't know,
rewatch it
I don't know.
eventually anyway. But and what was
I
the
have-
third
yeah.
part? What was the newest part?
There was so those two, Salem's Lot and
Yeah, I'll watch that one.
Midnight Mass. Salem's Lot just came out it came out today.
Yeah,
I
Apple?
haven't
Won't
read
watch
good
that
things on
What
it.
is it-
No,
what
it's
is it
on
on?
it's on Max. Or
Oh, okay.
HBO, whatever
Cool.
it's called Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually just stopped on Midnight Mass yesterday and said time for a rewatch and added it to my list again.
Hell
So
yeah.
Here.
Because it's some good shit. I mean,
it
I don't
fucking
know.
is. I just rewatched it about 6 months ago, so I love that. It's great.
Yeah, some good shit. So
you
yeah, I
down
think
for
that's
that?
all the vampire
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
I had to talk about. So
I'm
yeah.
down to try all that. I haven't really
Yeah.
Well, and I don't
seen
know. I
any of
mean,
those.
you don't have you guys don't have to like read the book or listen to the audiobook if you don't want. I'm gonna, so I can like pick out the differences and shit.
Yeah, give
And
us the
just
perspective.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so you guys can do any or as little or as much of that as you want, I guess. But I'll
I'm down.
probably be doing
Definitely.
I'll do that. Those main three at least for sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Any other ideas, or was that the main one that you had?
I had another, just like a discussion about people hating on shows and movies lately.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know if you even want to talk about that. I did a kind of loose based research on like why I think like the different combination of things that I think are going on, but like I don't know.
What are the findings?
I mean, basically, like here I can pull up my notes.
Social media, people actually having their voices heard more, right?
That's
gotta be a
interesting
factor.
because I actually didn't. That's not one of my three main points. The biggest one I attributed was the writer's strike.
That's a huge part, I would say.
So, like, the only like data that I could think of that would like contribute to that would be how many shows per year are coming out. So I looked up in 2022 how many shows came out that year. And apparently, it was about like 600. Then, like 2023 was like the year the writer's strike was going on, and I guess like there were like 500 and some.
But on that topic of writer strikes, I mean, Breaking Bad, they had a writer strike during the first season, right? That's why the first season was cut short. So
Yeah.
like, but that still turned out.
Yeah, if you can pivot, if you can dance around it, you know,
yeah, I'm
land
not
on
like
your feet again.
look. I have a lot of. And I'm not saying just because there was a writer strike is why people are
Yeah.
hating on it. It's like a combination of things, but also it's not like saying like just like something can be bad. There have been like good things that have came out, but it's like like listen. Okay, so the main shows I'm thinking of, which like the two exceptions that I can think of to this list that came out this year that like I would say I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about them. I would say Shogun and Industry. So besides that, I'll just rattle off some. And if you don't believe me, then we
I
can
thought
talk
Shogun
about
was mid as fuck.
Yeah, we were
Really?
talking shit about it. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so like I'll just add that one to the list. Like really, the only one that I know is Industry. Then.
So the study is of us, Joe. You're analyzing our criticism.
would
Is that
say
what
The
Yeah,
only
why are we
one
so
that I heard
salty?
of
yeah.
this year that everyone really liked was the Blue Eye Samurai, that
Oh, the
animated show.
animated thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that.
I think that might have came
did-
out last year, which I
Oh,
guess
did
is
it come out last
fine.
year?
But I mean, it
Oh.
might be. I don't know. It might have been the
I
winter.
thought it was this
actually.
year. You're
So, what are
probably
the
right.
other factors then involved?
Well, okay. So, but I also did come up. There have only been 288 shows that have came out so far this year, which would be a projected 384 versus
Okay.
like. So what I mean about the writer's strike is there's less content for people to
Mhm.
watch. So like they're just like hypercritical, but of the shit that they do watch.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
That's fair.
I would say
Maybe.
like
I can see
also
that, maybe.
a large portion of it would be like the content of the shows, and because of like the hypercritical fact. I mean, like we've got The Acolyte, True Detective, House of the Dragon, The Boys, Rings of Power, The Bear, and I just put anything Disney. Because like I mean, all of those besides The Boys, and The Bear, I would say are like not that good.
Yeah.
Just because of the shows themselves. The shows themselves are just not well written and they're just kind of not very well done.
Yeah.
But then there's like this bandwagon of people who like are like anti woke and they're like against, which like specifically Disney, it's like just a shallow representation of like different groups and ethnicities and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people don't like, or
No,
they
it
just
just feels
fixate
fake.
on that and think that
Right.
it's fucking bad just because of that. Which I
Yeah.
think that it's like that just spirals and snowballs into like. I mean, I was
Yeah,
reading
you
articles
burn the
about
bridge.
people like
Yeah, it's like a
rating episodes of The
company.
Acolyte before the episodes were even out, and
Right.
they were just like either rating them 5 or 0 stars, and it's just like, why do you care that
Hmm.
much?
Right.
ruined your childhood. Or, I don't know.
And they're
Did
really
something to
like,
you.
I guess like you could go with social media too, because it's just like easier forms of communication with like large groups of people.
Yeah.
But the last point I was gonna hit on was, I guess, just like politics. I'm not gonna like name names, but
huge.
like basically like this period of time for the last couple of years has been like the most hate-filled political garbage of my entire life. And I also lived through like the Bush administration, which like I was a kid, but like I didn't seem as bad as this. Like, so I
Definitely.
just feel like it just like has been feeding
It's
into like the,
bubbling
yeah,
up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was like what I attributed it to. But like, I don't know. I guess
I
we
mean,
really
there's
didn't have to talk about this if you didn't
nah,
watch.
I mean, it's fair. I would say it's definitely like a combination of a lot of those factors.
I guess I
I
was
don't
just
know.
like
Definitely.
thinking about it, and it's just like everybody is like hated on shows that have came out this year, and it's just like I feel like that just I
There's
don't know.
been a couple gems, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
for the most part,
think a
pretty
lot of
bad.
like what you said, obviously, those all play a factor into it. But like me personally, I just feel like the writing quality is like the biggest problem that we have now. It's like
Yeah,
not maybe it's just because the people they pick to write the shows now or the people they hire to write now are just like they don't have life experience like other
Yeah.
people do or like have been through things to where it's like make characters more relatable and actually like real.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
it's just like my problem with Blink Twice was I don't know if I talked about this with you guys, but like my biggest problem with Blink Twice, it's not a series, but it's a movie, and I think that cinematically it was very pleasing. But like the writing felt super shallow because it was just like this person who seems to be outside of reality and she wants to be saying something that's important, but it didn't really feel that important, if that makes any sense. Like the fact that they put a disclaimer before the movie takes you out of the movie for one. I thought that was just super unnecessary because it just takes away the whole like not necessarily the shock factor, but the suspense of it all. Like you know that you're what you're getting into. Rated R is, warning enough, trigger warning enough, right? So it's just this idea that they're thinking they're saying something, but really it's just like a shallow look at what's actually being done or portrayed.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would say like the companies that are like funding all these projects are so risk averse nowadays too that they
yeah,
like probably shave all the sharp edges away of what you're saying. Where it's like, well, they can't be like that bad, or else like they're gonna be mad at us because we
exactly.
portrayed a character of this or sort. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but
Exactly.
you did that all through the 80s and 90s, and all those movies are iconic as shit now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like,
Exactly.
well, I think it's just like we're in too safe of a zone right now,
And
like with all this discourse
yeah.
around it.
And
Yeah.
honestly,
Sure.
I watched Nymphomaniac, and like Lars Van Trier doesn't pull any punches, and like the writing alone in that, like granted, it's a lot of weird shit, and it's like some of the most disturbing shit I've seen, but it cannot be made today. It would not be made today because you would need more than just a trigger warning before this movie. But
Right.
like
Yeah.
the themes and the stuff it makes you think about is just like this is real as shit, and it feels like you can tell Lars has seen some shit, right? So I don't know. So I think it just boils down to like the biggest problem is like the writers think that they can say something, but they have no personal experience behind it, so it has no weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think on top of that too, I could see similarly like the studios or companies behind them are like so focused on like shoveling out shit nowadays that they don't care to vet or like
Right.
really
Yeah.
deeply look into that.
Just got to hit the date.
They're running.
Yeah.
Just got to
Yeah.
release this date.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to that point
I
too,
mean,
like they're like everyone's trying to cut costs for some reason in like the wrong directions. Cause like if you got a good showrunner or a good like mind that knows what they're doing immediately, like all the things will fall behind that, you'd think.
Mhm.
Because like then popularity will grow, like people will like enjoy the product. But when you like cut the number of writers and also the quality of the writers, because you can just get some like schmo off the street that'll do it for cheap.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, plug in the fucking Chat GPT shit and make me like a fucking Godzilla show.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
you could feel that after a while, and that's why people are going to fucking TikTok. Like, that's
Yeah.
shit.
And,
That was another thing
and
I was thinking too is generationally, like I feel like Gen Z ties into the idea that they can just hop on and put anything on blast because they feel like they have a perspective on
Got the
something.
voice.
Yeah.
right.
I don't know, and they're uneducated in like older culture, maybe, you know, they're so
Right,
used to what is here and
definitely.
now.
Yeah, life unfair to these younger generations is, oh well, how come he can do that and I can't? Life
Yeah.
sucks. It's like,
Yeah.
grow up. First off.
Uh,
But also, I think
Got a lot of
writing on
living to
IP,
do.
milking IP over and over again, people are just they want something new. You
Yeah,
know,
there's phases.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sad, but also like hopeful for me at the moment, where it's like we're in this place of like, man, this kind of fucking sucks. Because like you either step up the game and like get people back, or it's like gonna fade. You know.
Yeah.
So I would hope that people step it up and like you just got to find the gems. Because I will say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is my favorite show this year. That's a
Mhm.
quality
I
quality
didn't even
show,
think of that show.
right?
But yeah,
Like
The
that was some good
Gentleman.
shit.
That's a great
The
show.
Gentleman
this
was
year.
really
Yeah.
good too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's all about the voice. It's all about who's making
Right.
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe these old TV writers or old movie writers go into TV. Maybe that'll change some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Gangs of London. It's a Gareth Edwards, his show, and I'm gonna
Okay, I
see if
didn't know
that's
about
any sort of step
Something.
up in terms of quality. Because I mean he did The Raids, he did Apostle, which I really
Yeah.
liked. So I don't know.
Cool.
Cool.
I think for me the biggest thing is, like I said, I think that these writers are just they don't have the life experience, I guess. So it's nothing like
Yeah.
But also,
actually
it's like
relatable.
with the IP shit you were saying, it's like, okay, we're gonna make a Godzilla TV show. Who likes Godzilla? Like, no one's like coming to them with the Godzilla idea that they really
Right.
like. You know, it's like
Yeah.
they're like picking someone who's like, can you write that show? You think? Like, it never will have like the connection or like the heart,
Definitely.
that you want.
It's like Borderlands. That's the biggest thing. I think if it was recasted, it would
Yeah.
just been a little bit better because all of those cast members, Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, fucking Jack Black, annoying as hell. But like these people, they have no heart into this show or
Right, they
into
don't
this
care.
movie. They don't know any of the original, like where it comes from. Like,
Yeah.
tell me Kate Blanchett played Borderlands and knows like the actual lore, please.
Cast some young gamers who fucking know the shit they're saying. You know.
Give me some
Why not?
neckbeards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
not?
I mean, I was also, I don't know, just trying to make a connection with like how much movies cost these days, or like the budget of movies. Because I don't know, I feel like I've been talking for like the last like year or so about how you don't need a fucking huge budget.
No.
No, that's definitely part of the problem. It's like we're
Yeah.
investing so much money, like we can't do the
Like
the
honestly,
risky shit.
I kind of just want Disney to go away. I feel like it was
would be
kind
great.
of Marvel that did this.
Oh, absolutely, man. I feel like
And
they
I-
developed the machine
Yeah.
of like follow this formula and
Yeah.
print this product, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
We
the movie
ate it
model
up,
back in the
though.
day.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did. I
we're
did
the
end
problem.
it up.
True.
And
And
now we
now
gotta
it's
face the
like-
music.
Well, like, dude, I don't know. It's like you can't just stop that, It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I
they
mean-
should have just fucking stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put the blame fully on us because like after Endgame, which was like the peak of like that phase,
I was pretty much
that
checked
phase.
out after that.
Well, it's like they could have done something to kind of reinvest like their motivations or like their, because you had the audience and then you started kind of like coasting. Like they kind of stopped trying.
And they
So
thought
like
they had
that's
us.
where you lost
good.
people.
Dude, honestly, they could have just taken like
Saturated
5
fucking
years off.
TV shows.
Right. Take
Yeah.
some years off. Maybe do
Yeah.
like the DC model nowadays, which is like do some Elseworlds shit or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like it's just too like they kind of squandered what they built. It wasn't that what they built was
Yeah.
bad. It's like they kind of just fucked it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep momentum? I feel like that's
Right, yeah.
unrealistic.
Right. So you should
They
kind of
got
know that.
they got too cocky because like
Look,
back
this
in
is
the
kind
day.
of a good model for capitalism, but like we probably shouldn't go there.
Yeah, that's right. That's the root of the problem.
No. Capitalism, no, it has no problems. What are you talking about? It's,
No,
it's
in the
it's
sense
perfect
that like
everywhere.
you always expect growth for the next
Right. You need
thing,
more and more.
Right.
but like
Yeah.
eventually you run out of growth.
Or you
Yeah.
start cutting like things to make the numbers work right to make it seem
Yeah.
like and then you're like your product is suffering.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, it was like, let's dump this money in this project, and it's basically a gamble on whether or not this film makes it or not.
Yeah.
So it's like if you approach the studio with an idea for a film, it was like, can we see this appealing? Can we do? Now it's just like
You also
what's
you don't hear
the
the stories of like the grind that these creators go through to get stuff made, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I spent 6 years just trying to get this movie made or
Or
something like
like
that. I don't know.
Francis with
Yeah.
Megalopolis.
Yeah, it took him 50 years.
But like,
Wow.
dude, $140 million, or is it 120? I don't know, something around there. But
It's
it's like,
140.
did that movie need to be that? I don't know. I haven't seen it, but
I
like,
still haven't seen it yet.
it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if you, I don't know. I know like sometimes you have like a vision for a movie, but like, did it need to be that much?
Hey
Well,
man,
50 years ago, it was probably started out as a, $40 million idea. So,
yeah, if
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
I mean, at least in that case,
I
it
mean,
was just
have any of you
Francis's
guys
money.
seen it?
Not yet. I might still go
No.
see it. I'll watch it
I thought he
eventually, but
still like had to like fundraise and shit. So like, I
some,
guess it was
yeah.
kind of all.
He
He's
sold
asking
his
all his
vineyard,
friends.
man.
Yeah.
Aw.
Sold his vineyard to fund it.
Poor Francis.
Damn.
All right. You guys want to run through some shit we've been watching recently and then get into Linklater?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have anything. So
I watched
I haven't been
Wolves.
watching a whole lot.
I
Or
did
Wolves.
watch Wolves. Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, I did see you guys rated it on Letterboxd, or at least I think you have. What, like
It
three
I gave
was violently mid.
Yeah. I kind of wrote it up to being like, oh, it's kind of trying to be like The Killer, where it's like so
Little bit.
one note and like kind of like methodical that it's like that's its style.
Yeah.
But nah, it's pretty empty. Not much
is.
going on. I thought the filmmaking was like pretty good. Honestly, like a
It
lot of
was,
the shots
yeah.
were pretty effective and like the lighting was really good. And it, like I thought the script was pretty clever. Like you can feel the writing where it's like, oh yeah, okay, I see that what they're trying to do there. I see what they okay, yeah, nice. Like that worked out because you did this earlier, you know, like so that worked for me. And the ending, I was like, okay, you kind of won me over at the end, but no, yeah, I'm debating on dropping it to 3. Got it at 3.5.
Yeah. I couldn't raise it above 3 personally, just because it is just like it's completely empty of like I don't know. Even the chemistry, it was there, but like the most chemistry was when they're at the end and Clooney
Yeah.
like is faking him out and he flips him off, and I'm just like, that was good. You know,
That's
at that
good.
point I was like, there it is. Where was that a majority of the movie? I mean, there's
It's like-
moments at the beginning, but the whole concept is pretty like paper thin when she's like, "Oh, whose bag is that?" But as she's watching them on the camera, like I don't know. I mean, they kind of mention that a little bit, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe she's covering something up." But like, why didn't they think about that at the very start while they had her on the phone? I don't know.
They're
Just some
supposed to be
things like
really good
that.
at their job, but they're just
Right.
really bad because they're both the same guys and they never notice each other's. I don't know. It's like
So
clever
like the killer,
enough.
but Aldi version.
Right, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like what we were saying, where it's like people are getting more negative. Like a movie like Wolves, I watched that movie now, and I'm like, that's that's kind of better than the most of the movies I watched this year. It's kind of sad,
Honestly.
but like,
Mm.
well, it's fine.
Definitely. I feel that.
Yeah, I watched Cuckoo though.
Oh
I think
my
you saw
god!
one in it.
Please.
That movie was fucking bad, dude. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
What happened?
I did not
What
like
fucking happened?
it. Yeah,
What is
I
that?
didn't even
Never
really
even
understand
heard of
it.
that.
Like,
It's like the script got cut in half and they forgot half. The whole middle was just like,
yeah.
throw that out. Let's just fucking
Yeah.
figure it out.
That's the horror that's why I don't watch I watch most any movie this year, and like a lot of the ones I'm like, it's the horror ones. And that one I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. And it's exactly the shit I hate, where it's just like all style and like vibe
Yeah.
and feeling with no like actual emotional like stakes. And then there's like I like a weird plot, but that plot I was just like, this makes no fucking sense. Like
It doesn't.
that was just bad, dude.
Yeah, it was bad. There was the guy who's supposed to be the bad guy, which it feels like again part of the script was just like thrown on the floor and forgotten about because his
Yeah.
character feels like there's something missing.
Yeah.
But it's like the only interesting part of the movie is his character, and they like feels like they butchered it. They're like, yeah, let's cut it out. We need more
Yeah.
of whoever the bitch is that's at the lead.
Yeah, she was fine in it. I thought Dan Stevens, I thought he was kind of boring. I was like, dude, I've
Really?
seen you kind of do this shtick a couple times now. Like,
Little
let's,
bit, yeah.
let's try something else here. But I don't know. It was, I just didn't like it. But then
Yeah.
I watched The Watchers, which is like Shyamalan's daughter's movie, and that's even worse.
Oh yeah, I
So,
saw you rated
fuck.
that super low.
1 star, but one star, dude. Talk about a
bad,
movie that
huh?
makes no sense. Like, just feels terrible to watch. The cinematography is terrible. The plot makes no sense, and then there's like a weird twist that's like 3/4 of the way through, and it's like you don't know what a twist is. You haven't watched your dad's shit enough or like studied it to like understand why it's cool. You know?
know nothing, Grasshopper.
Yeah. And it's like produced by Shyamalan, like the dad. It's like this movie never would have been made, you know, if like you didn't fund this movie for your
Nepo.
daughter. So it's like
Nepo baby.
How much was it?
I think it was probably pretty low. I mean, it's just all in a forest, and there's like a weird box. Dakota Fanning's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's all the budget right
Yeah.
there, Dakota
Yeah,
Fanning.
honestly,
Right.
probably.
Dude, okay, so did you guys see this trailer for? I don't think it's actually like Ari Aster directing. I think he's just a producer. I cannot think of the name of it right now though. But like the trailer came out like last week. And it looks like
maybe.
an actual like horror comedy, but like I don't know. It looks to me like the vibe that Beau is Afraid like should have went for instead of what
Okay.
it actually happened.
Could
I
be
cannot
interested.
remember it. Yeah, let me try to see if I can find it. But like
Also, did go to see My Old Ass with Aubrey Plaza. Liked it a
How
lot.
was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top
I heard
10
it's
of the
pretty
year
good.
so far. Yep. But I'm a sucker. I realized in my top 10 I have like 3 coming of age movies. So I'm like, man, maybe
Oh,
this
yeah?
is just my kind of shit. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah. It's
But
called
it's
I
good.
saw. And speaking of horror to come out this year, man, I saw you watched Oddity. You didn't like it, huh?
Nah. That one
No?
also is like boring, and I didn't care about any of the characters. And there was like cool vibes going on, but I was also cooking dinner, and I was like, I don't even want to like listen to what's like. It was just boring as shit, and I didn't even care about it. Like maybe I didn't
Really?
pay attention enough on that
Yeah.
one, but like
I don't know
I
if it
watched
helped,
it.
but I watched mine with headphones, and that helped a lot with
maybe.
the whole like
Yeah, mine was
experience
on the phone.
because
So
okay.
that could be
Okay.
a reason why it was lower on the rating. But I also saw like Mike Flanagan's review of like, this is a game changer, this is the best of the year by far, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then because Mike Flanagan shit is the best of the year a lot of the time when it
Yeah.
comes out, so I'm like, hey, this
Definitely.
guy's got taste. And then you watched it, and I was like, I don't even really. I think he's just really into horror, and this one did it
It's
for him.
one of
for
my
some reason.
favorites of this year. So I mean, maybe
Really?
it's just
What
I mean,
about it
for
is
me-
like special? You know what I'm saying?
it was special for a horror movie for me. Like it has its tropes and its problems, but like the fact that I was like looking around my house thinking I'm hearing someone walking around my house, but it's in the movie, like just little subtle movie making choices that this director made where it's like there's a creak in the house, so it makes you just constantly wonder, is there somebody like still breaking
in
and
this
entering
house.
right now? I don't know. I just that alone was like, this is like elevated to where it's just not like trying to do jump scares.
There's
And
a
I
lot
just thought
going
the
on in that
concept
movie.
of the wooden like doll, I thought
Yeah.
that was just fucking cool. I don't know.
There's a
It's
lot.
cool
I mean, there's
shit.
like weird creatures and shit.
Yeah.
Right? So it's got a lot going on, which is nice, I guess, in a way.
I just the vibe of it all just felt super elevated for a horror movie for me.
Maybe
wasn't
someday I'll rewatch
cliche.
it. Yeah. Also, the main dude is from The Great. I don't know if you've watched The Great. He's like the dude is getting cucked half the show, and then maybe I was like, I can't take this seriously because this guy is just like too silly in that show. But
Wait,
Gotcha.
the like priest or whatever in that show?
no, that guy's fucking wild in
I
that
was
show.
gonna say that
But
guy's fucked up.
he's like the best friend of Peter, but he's also banging
Oh,
his
yeah.
wife. You know,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Did you? So you said you were watching on a phone and cooking at the same time. Did you see the end where the guy's like gets his toes bitten?
Honestly, I might have
Okay.
checked out by that point.
Well, that part alone was like one of the most fucking weird, creepy shit that I've
Mhm.
seen this year in a horror movie. So I was just like,
Okay.
I don't know. I really
I'll give it a
liked
rewatch. I won't judge it that hard because it could be on me, honestly.
Yeah, you kink shaming son of a bitch.
Yeah, nah, it's each their own. But we got Stitch in here, boys. He says,
Hey,
Warner
buddy.
Brothers, Folie à Deux. You guys gonna see the Joker, new Joker movie?
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe.
It just
I don't
feels
know.
like a joke at this point.
That's the
I don't
point,
know in theaters.
right? I'll probably go
Might
see
just
it.
wait.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I might. I don't know. If I have time next week, I might.
I had a great theater experience with the first Joker. Not gonna lie, like I really liked it, but I don't think I'm gonna like this one as much. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Same.
Got Gaga though, dude.
It's got the Gaga. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
got a lot of music, I assume. Be interesting at
probably.
least. Any other stuff you've been watching, or should we get into the link?
the last thing I mentioned it earlier, but Nymphomaniac. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Lars Van Trier. This is like his Once Upon a Time. I'm telling you. Like
Mm.
5.5 hours. I thought I would
I'll
be
watch
like,
it.
Pure
dude.
sex, baby.
See, that was another thing that my brother recommended on top of the Terrifiers. So I'm just like, I don't know.
Nymphomaniac? Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
he was like, watch Lars Van Trier, watch Nymphomaniac, and I was like,
Mhm.
I,
I don't
honestly,
know, dude.
it's fucking like there was a part where I was reading where it was like a self-inflicted abortion happens and somebody had to be like two dudes had to be like carried out of the theater when they watched it. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. No, it's that bad. It's fucked up.
Really?
Ugh.
That's
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
not
think I-
motivating.
I don't
It's
think I
not
want to
motivating.
watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It is
Like that.
crazy. The stuff like I don't know, but like
Wow.
just it all comes together. I'm telling you, like
This
it's
is
so
gonna
much
loop
to chew
around
on.
It
to the
all
end
comes
of
together.
Fast Food Nation. We're gonna bring this up later.
All right.
It's
Thread that
crazy.
needle.
I don't know. I recommend it. I've been recommending like it's not the kind of movie you recommend to everybody, but I've been recommending it to a lot of people to just be like, this has a lot of meat to chew on, no pun intended. But it's good shit.
I don't know what the day like I start Lars Van Trier is gonna be. Like what I'm never what mood am I gonna be in to be like Antichrist?
Antichrist. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So
Just
up
wanna
until
beat down.
Nymphomaniac, Antichrist was the wildest shit I've ever seen on a movie, and I thought, no way, no one
Topped
can
it.
do this in a movie. And then Nymphomaniac happened, and I'm like, okay, this guy's just fucking
Yikes.
crazy. So
I don't know.
Yikes.
I'm just like scared to just. I don't even know anything about either of the movies. Like,
Mm.
I just know he
You should
directs
be
some
scared.
fucked up shit. That's all.
Yeah, he's a fucking mentally ill man with a camera.
you know, ease yourself in with the house that Jack built. That's what I did when I started Lars
That's
Van
an
Trier.
easing in.
I would say, yeah.
I've
Compared
Heard that movie's
to
dark as
everything else.
fuck.
better things.
Oh, it is, but it's not Antichrist or Nymphomaniac dark. So
Melancholia is the one I'm most curious about. Not gonna lie.
yes,
That seems to be the
that's-
most tame too.
That's one I might check out soon, just because
I mean, you're almost
Like
through it, right?
Nymphomaniac.
You watched most of them. Then there's only like less
All
than 10.
but-
Yeah.
yeah, I need to see I think 2 or 3 more, and I think I have them all. So
Thanks for capturing the
Okay.
darkness, bro, for us.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's good.
Solo
I mean,
directing style.
honestly, I had better time with Nymphomaniac than I've had with Linklater in the past, 4 movies. So
I can see that.
These last
Wow.
ones have been a little.
Thank
What
you,
are we
bro.
calling? Like, are we
That's
calling
a
the mode of transportation the link? I
Link.
mean, that's not really a mode of transportation, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're running
We
out
haven't-
of modes of
Oh,
transportation.
yeah, we haven't pulled out the
Yeah.
transpo in a while. Yeah.
This one feels like a submarine trip for me. Like I just
Submarine,
want out,
yeah.
but I can't escape.
Hmm.
I don't know.
What was Malik?
Malik was pretty close to that, but
We were getting kidnapped in the back of a
honestly,
trunk.
I'm
Fucking
glad I wasn't
darkness.
there.
Yeah.
I was just gone. I was like knocked out somewhere. I don't know.
He's in the
Yeah.
field. He decided not to take Joe with.
you escaped.
Club.
He ran off. Fucking just took us. Yeah, well, I mean, let's get into Linklater then. If we're taking the link, fuck it. Got 3
Yeah.
movies.
Taking
3
the link.
movies to talk about. So let's get into it. And yeah, I kind of agree. We're in a bit of a dip. A bit of a dip of the career. A bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
But actually, I don't know if I agree with that because, like, pretty much all the fucking movies have been like this level for me.
True.
Wow.
Yeah.
True.
I don't
How
know.
dare you.
I mean, like, School of Rock was like okay, and Dazed and Confused is good, and like the before movies are like solid,
They're a league above.
but it's just like
I'm with you, Joe.
I don't
100%.
know. Like, I'm just not
100%.
feeling.
I feel that.
Like I like his vibe most of the time, and I like that he tries new things. But it's like I don't want to watch a movie like every time for you try and like to reinvent a genre or like fucking try
Yeah.
something new, like because
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I
just,
mean-
that's 2. I feel like that's 2 of these 3 movies at least, right? I mean, like with The Scanner Darkly and Fast Food Nation, like
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was gonna say. Is like those two feel like I don't know. I feel like rehashing stuff he's done before,
Mhm.
and I don't know. They just had like nothing to say compared to stuff that he's like said already. I thought.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
I mean, all
Yeah.
3 of these are based off of something else. So, I mean,
they?
maybe he's a bit insecure about his own ideas
I guess that's a good
nowadays or
point.
something.
So let's just start with Bad News Bears. It's the first one up, right? So
Yeah.
like my
Yes, sir.
first thoughts of it was just like, and I've talked to a couple people about this movie like since, because I watched it like I don't know, probably 2 weeks ago at this point, and I'm like, this was like the obvious, or the obvious like he was the obvious choice to do this movie because it's basically School of Rock but baseball instead of
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
doesn't work. Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't really work because, like, dude, I feel like Billy Bob Thornton's character, like Buttermaker, is like irredeemable. Like he's too
There's
bad.
no arc.
He's just
There's
a
no
piece
arc.
of shit.
Yeah, he's just a piece
Yeah.
of shit the whole fucking like through and through. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he learns at the end. He cares, right?
but is he still a piece of shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's
This
just
is-
worried about oiling his mitt, now and then.
Yeah, fuck.
Keep your mitt oiled, dog.
So this is the first question I had, which relates to what you're asking. Is immediately when you watch Bad News Bears remake, 2005, there's a screenwriting theory called Save the Cat, where it's like in the first page or so of your movie, you have to like show the main character saving a cat or like doing something good, or that will
Yeah.
get you on the side of the main character.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he doesn't save the cat. He literally leaves the rats. So like and it's like it's doing the nega save the cat. You know what I'm saying? It's going hard in the other direction, which is cool.
Reverse
But like
psychology.
I was wondering though, like, does that
It's the same
does
thing as
it-
School of Rock because like the first scene, he's like trying to fucking crowd surf and shit, and like
Yeah.
he's obviously like not.
but he's more likable in that, I'd say, because he's rocking out or he's like soloing and shit. Like obviously he's unlikable, but like in this one, it's so like in your face and direct
Yes,
about what he's doing. I guess like my question though is like, do you think that sets your brain up for a negative movie experience when the character doesn't act like he actively doesn't save the cat like that? Do you think it actually affects
That's a good
psychologically?
point. And
Kinda.
do you think Linklater did that on purpose?
I assume it's on. I mean, there's like comedy scriptwriters I feel like who touched this one up, and you can kind of tell because it's pretty shitty comedy. But
Yeah.
I think like the idea is like, let's just make this guy as unlikable. We're not saving the cat. We're fucking him over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems intentful, but I wonder like, does it actually, does that theory prove true where it's like, yeah, you kind of like shot the movie in the foot right away where it's like, no, I don't care.
I think
I
like
would
for
agree.
me, what really like made me hate him or like checked me out of the movie was like basically the third of the saving the cats in a row, which would be like because he like that's the first one where he leaves the rats. Then there's like where he shows up to the baseball field and he's like fucking pouring vodka
Yeah,
in
he
his
pours the
beer.
booze in. Yeah.
And then there's the third one where he's just like at a fucking girls' high school softball game,
Yeah,
and like
that
the
was
coach
weird.
comes up to him, and he's just talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, check out the second baseman's ass," and I'm just like,
Yeah.
That
Dude,
was
what
weird.
the
That's when I made the
fuck? Like,
Buttermaker category
we
at that
doing?
moment.
like,
Mm.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
the moment I'm
That's,
just like, I don't
that's
care. Like,
So it's the
Just end this
compounding of
movie.
these moments that did it, right? Like,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
Taking the kids to Hooters, that kind of stuff. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I was just curious because, like, to me, it kind of like immediately the movie becomes a bit less watchable when you're like, oh, I gotta follow that person. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
That's fair.
It's still watchable, and I understand
good
what it's doing, but like,
I think you're right though. Like he has no arc, so even though you're not like ingratiated with him at the beginning, you're still not by the end.
the
So
end
it's
of
just
it.
like, yeah, it's just like
It's like how to make an anti-hero,
yeah.
Like this guy's just a shit person that they want us to root for some reason, but we just don't because he's a
Right.
shit person.
because we
So-
liked the 1976 Bad News Bears, you're supposed to just like get on board with this idea,
Yeah.
Yeah. So many
And-
people from that went saw
There's so much fucking bad Santa energy that's being like sapped into this movie, you know what I'm saying? And it does
Sure.
not like need to be there, and it doesn't really fit in my opinion. Because I watched the old one, it's a pretty good movie, pretty good. It's got
Yeah.
like the bones, like a lot of what the remake did, but better. Walter Matthau,
Yeah.
believable character,
More likable.
a little bit more likable. I mean, he is an asshole, but like he kind of jumps on the team's side pretty quickly in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I get what you're saying though too, because like there's no real starting point for the character. Like there's no like before. It's all you're
Yeah.
just thrown in, and then he's like already going
Yeah.
to the first practice, and it's like we don't even know why he's going to the practice. Like
Yeah.
it didn't seem like they did the necessary things in a script to set it up right. But
I think I looked it up, and I think this came out before Eastbound and Down. But like, it's basically like if you mashed up Eastbound and Down and School of Rock. Like, it's
Damn.
like you basically take the fucking guy. Like, I don't know what his character's name is, but like, they're basically the
Randy?
same person. Like, except I guess
Oh.
Buttermaker's more of a piece of shit, kind of.
But in
I don't
Eastbound and Down, they like kind of set up the character a whole lot better in
Exactly.
the first
Oh, yeah.
episode,
yeah.
where you're
100%,
just
yeah.
like on board with him. He's a shitty person, but like he's
Yeah.
more fun to be around.
100%. Yeah.
A shitty
For
type
sure.
of person you could, hang out with.
he's believable too. I
Yeah.
feel like Billy Bob, you just kind of like he's putting on the shtick. He's like putting on the fucking
Yeah.
Billy Bob.
And he's just
Yeah.
old as fuck, and yeah.
Yeah.
Feel about
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all I have
Yeah.
for points. You guys want to get into some categories?
Let's jump into
Sure.
So, what do you guys think the theme of Bad News Bears is?
it. Quit living
See
in the
what I got
glory
here.
days. The past is the past. I don't know.
Hmm.
Hard
Oh
to
yeah, I
find
guess
one
that
in
could
this.
be for like the dad coach.
Definitely.
Oh,
Buccaneers.
yeah.
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 He's like basically forcing his kid to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not really like living in the past in this, is he though? He's kind of just like a dick in the right now. Like
But like he
I-
talks about his
daughter,
time
like,
on the
glory
mound all the
days.
time, right? And how he was like, he had the opportunity that not anybody else would have to close out a game. I don't know. It
only
just
like
felt
1,000
fun.
people have pitched on it, whatever. the
Right.
fuck.
Right.
I'd put even a grumpy old man can find something to care about.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's a heartfelt movie. If you buy in, it can bring you to tears.
Sure.
I'd say just like
I don't
stick
know.
up for like lesser groups. Make sure everybody has fun. I don't know. To be honest,
Yeah.
me playing softball, I feel like I fucking hate like the fucking first place team because there are teams like that in my league, and I play
Mhm.
fucking co-ed 16-inch softball league. It's
Yeah.
not that serious. So it's
Right.
like when you're taking fun away from other people, it's just like, what are we doing here? You know?
Is it
So,
slow
like,
pitch too?
Yeah.
Or-
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And people probably take it like dead fucking serious. Don't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
More
dude.
serious.
Yeah.
It's their
Their
livelihood.
livelihood.
I
Yeah.
played a slow pitch game one time and it was like I was in the majors, man. Because they were, I don't know. It was
Yeah,
just crazy.
they take it way too serious. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, basically
like all
just
slow
make
pitch
sure
should just
everybody's having
be-
a good time.
Yeah, beer
Yeah.
in hand, like I don't know why you gotta. Yeah. I put underdog and the
Classic
determination.
underdog story.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's kind of what I got out of it. But
Determination.
yeah, to keep going, even though it's hard, man.
Yeah,
Life's
even though
hard.
I'm fucking
I say.
hungover and I got to coach a
Yeah.
fucking kids team. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
little shits. I thought
Yeah.
the kids were the funniest part of this movie.
They were decent. Yeah.
Like,
They had a lot of zingers,
yeah,
a lot
it's
of
the
fucking
one-liners.
spunk, you know?
Yeah.
You guys have a
Yeah.
favorite shot in this one? I'm not going to lie. It was kind of hard to find favorite shots out of these movies.
Yeah, I didn't really
Baseball
find
hit to
anything.
catch transition
Yeah, that's what I put. The
Yeah.
wheelchair kid. Yeah.
where it like hits the ball and then the pitcher catches it or throws it or whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
There's a transition like that.
I don't remember that.
Uh,
one.
Like
Nice.
the
okay.
ball
I was-
was hit and it was caught and it was into a different scene. So
Hmm. Okay.
that was
okay.
cool.
I was thinking of something different. I was thinking the fly ball to like the outfield.
Yeah, like
And he,
dangles
like,
on the
bobbles it.
glove. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it like
I was
tilts
thinking
up to
wheelchair.
the
That
kid
is a
with
good
the wheelchair.
shot.
I was like,
Yeah.
hey, nice.
Good reveal.
I'll put that one as
Yeah.
my favorite. Sure.
Nice.
Alright.
Mine
Cheers
was
to that.
mine was Buttermaker dumping the dead animals from the cooler, and then it like pans over
Yeah.
and you just see the woman like with the shocked face like staring at him. Like, oh, that was
Pretty
good.
Yeah.
Favorite quote? You guys got one? The old Buttermaker? Say something
guys-
funny.
You
I
guys look like
said-
the last shit I took.
That's
A lot of shit jokes.
Look like you're smuggling grapes down there. I liked that one.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't really put any like one-liners because like they were fine, and some of them were like
Yeah.
ripped from the old one. My favorite quote, it felt like the only one of the few genuine moments for Billy Bob was at the end after the game's over and he's talking to the team in the dugout, and he says he's kind of like doing this like speech, and then he just like looks over at the other team and it's like all celebrating. He's like, "Oh, look at those bastards over there." Like, well, let's go get this over with. That I don't know, pretty low key quote, but I found that moment to be kind of nice and like a fun like encapsulation of like a speech.
Yeah.
Another
Losing with
quote
dignity.
that stood out to me and spoke to me personally was only people who put ketchup on hot dogs are mental patients and Texans.
Is that true?
Absolutely. Ketchup on hot dogs is a sin. Straight to hell.
Wait, people
I'm
from
guessing you-
Texas put ketchup on though? Is that
Yeah.
so
I
you're
don't.
from
I'm not
I
from
was
Texas.
gonna say, yeah.
okay?
I live
That's
here.
a big Midwestern thing.
I see.
Yeah.
I put
But
ketchup
yeah,
on my
no,
hot
ketchup
dogs.
on a
What do
hot
you put on
dog?
your hot dogs?
No.
I put both. I put
Mustard,
mustard,
relish,
ketchup.
and
Fucking
sport
mustard?
peppers, baby.
Wow, you're so cool
Some
for putting
onions.
mustard on your hot dog. You're
That's
such a
like-
cool guy.
It's like mustard.
Ketchup
dude.
is ketchup for one is disgusting, and also you talk about ketchup, and I'm like, what are you
alright.
like 6? You know, what do you need ketchup for? You
Yeah,
know,
What you're buying
Brent,
at Red's?
let me get my barbecue sauce like an adult. That's
Yeah,
my
barbecue
sweet sauce
is
for
like
for
my
like
adult.
Ketchup,
I
okay.
agree.
Give
with
me
Give me some
not putting
buffalo.
ketchup on
Give me
hot
some
dogs.
mustard.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with like just not eating ketchup in general because ketchup is pretty good,
I don't mind.
but
Ketchup
I
is
agree
nasty.
that you shouldn't put it on hot dogs.
Ah,
What should
thank
go in
God.
a hot dog? Fucking onions and shit.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I can go to like
Mm.
three
A
Chicago
places
style
and a
dog is
couple
pretty
blocks
fresh.
away.
Sweet
Yeah, I can get a
relish.
fucking Chicago dog. So I mean,
celery salt,
Right.
a pickle,
I'm down
sport
with the
peppers,
pickle.
mustard.
Mustard, like
little
what?
tomato maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I got to get back into mustard or something. But it's just what's
Mustard
good
is
about
a game
it?
changer. I eat mustard on fucking everything.
yeah, mustard is good.
Nasty.
I
I
agree
do
with
like
that.
it.
I
Yeah.
put Dijon on like almost every sandwich I make.
Fuck yeah.
Dijon
Oh,
is
yeah?
like is good.
This
haven't had
is
enough.
revealing, guys. Like I don't know how to take this information
You
anymore.
enhance your fucking palate, Matt.
With mustard?
Right?
Yeah,
Fuck, man.
Fucking-
Sorry.
Knuckle dragging
I
ape.
understand. I
Yeah.
put ground mustard as a seasoning in like a lot of shit.
I like a good mixed mustard with like other flavors and stuff on a sandwich or off like on a little condiment section. I don't want to do Heinz
Yeah.
mustard and squirt that yellow shit on
Yeah.
like it.
Nobody uses.
Okay,
We're not
first off-
talking about Heinz. I'm talking about.
What
like
mustard are you
fucking
talking?
Hold up.
Coupon,
Hold up.
Dijon,
Heinz mustard.
fucking
Oh, you got
in
the
a jar,
fancy
glass
mustard.
shit. Yeah, dude. Because that's
Heinz
the
mustard
Mm.
slaps. Let's not
Mustard
curse the
aioli.
Heinz
Look,
mustard.
Heinz,
There we
okay?
go.
Heinz mustard, that's garbage.
If
That's
it's an
garbage
aioli,
mustard.
then it's
still
classy
okay.
enough
It's
that I
not
like it.
Garbage. Oh,
right,
wait.
what's
So you're a Heinz,
No,
you're a
yellow
Heinz
mustard's
mustard
like
man.
the
Though.
baseline though.
What's the next thing for Benny's Bears? What's our next topic?
Wow, no, we'll revisit this mustard conversation sometime else. But
Yeah.
the next thing I have on the
Post it.
list is the Buttermaker Award, specifically chosen for this movie.
Wait,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
thought the Buttermaker. Oh, okay, gotcha. So I thought a Buttermaker as the like category was a character that is Buttermaker for future movies.
Yeah,
Am I
like you
correct?
pick the Buttermaker. So like the person who gets the
Okay.
Buttermaker award is pretty much the perv or the pedophile. in the
weirdo.
movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So,
Because I
okay.
have one in one of the following movies.
Okay, I dig that. I like that
that's- I think I
explanation.
know what you're talking about. I think, yeah.
So
obviously the
Buttermaker wins
Buttermaker
his
award
own
goes to
award.
Buttermaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I did have a question
Coins
though.
and-
Yeah, I mean
Huh?
it's the name of the game. But what
Yeah.
did he actually do that's illegal? Can you list like what?
He
What
tried to
he
sleep with the
do?
teenage
What is
softball
like a
player.
14-year-old?
He was
yeah.
walking with her. If that man didn't
Dude,
stop him,
honestly, what
Yeah.
like because there's none of his backstory shown, like what is his relationship with his daughter too, and why has he not talked to her in like an extended period of time?
Who knows?
Yeah. You don't even
he
know where the
was
mom's
too young
about.
to play. She was playing at playgrounds. He wasn't allowed to be
He's
around
too,
them.
he's too busy going to every strip
Because
club
he's-
in the area and getting all the women to fall in love with him somehow.
I don't
I
know.
don't
And I guess
Yeah.
like, I'm just like, did he do some shit? So like, is that what? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I
got
mean,
kicked out of
he
the
burned
MLB.
it. And the old one, I'm pretty sure it's like her stepdad or something, or like he dated the chick's mother for a while, and then he comes and gets her. Anyways, but I don't know. It's too simple in this new one. I said he's constantly doing public intoxication. Like he's always
Yeah.
drunk in public, right? Like that's
Yeah.
got to be illegal. When you're at like a fucking ball game or something.
At a
And
children's
then
ball game. Yes, I would
Right.
say that open fucking can of booze.
hey man, maybe it's
constantly on a
legal.
children's baseball field.
Maybe-
Yeah,
It's Texas,
Yeah.
man. Is that what's the law
Oh,
down
are they
there?
actually in Texas? Oh, I thought it
think
was
so.
like California or something.
Oh, I thought it was like Texas.
They're
I
like palm
assumed,
trees
but
at one point, so I guess there are probably palm trees in Texas.
maybe it was California. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Let me
See,
look.
animals in California do that, all right? Not us normal
The old one
Texans.
is, I mean.
all right.
Yeah. And then I put using children as labor because he like brings them to work one day and like makes them work. Like that's gotta be illegal.
I
Right?
mean, it says it was filmed in
Nah.
Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I
It
don't
might,
know.
it might be California for that.
That's weird because Linklater, he's a Texas boy.
Yeah,
So,
that's I
like-
kind of just assumed because most other ones are. But-
I didn't know that.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, let's we'll break that award out when we find
The
a
next
weird ass
award.
person in one of our
Yeah.
movies. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Your
Um,
eyes out for the pedophile, man. They're out there.
always be on the watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Who'd you guys have for best performance in Bad News Bears?
I didn't even have one.
I couldn't pull one down. Yeah, I didn't.
Damn.
Greg Kinnear.
That's what I put. I was like, you know what?
Wait, what'd you say?
Who's that?
Greg Kinnear.
Oh, the other coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
who I was gonna say. I didn't know because I
He's
would
on,
I
like-
would say he had best performance for best Nation.
Oh yeah. Really?
Yeah, maybe
I
him or,
thought so.
him or Bruce Willis.
We'll talk later. Yeah. For Bad News Bears, his character is like the perfect like on the verge of like douchebaggery character.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
very believable that guy would be coaching like his son's baseball team.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Played
And
it pretty
how,
well.
You
like,
know
there's a
that. You know
comment
that
made
guy.
about his shorts
Yeah.
being too tight, and he like kind of looks down. You know, it's just like
right?
that was
Adjusting it.
perfect.
Yeah, that was good. And then the scene with him like pushing his son. It's one of the few moments where shit gets real in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, I think.
And
I
he
put
kinda,
that
like, has to,
down
like,
as the
walk it
best
off.
Scene. I don't know if that's our next thing, but yeah,
It is. Best
I
scene.
Put that it's like I don't know. That was. Yeah.
There's actual. There's some meat there,
Yeah,
other than the
Yeah.
rest of the
actually
movie where it's
something
just
there.
fucking circus.
Yeah.
I put something completely different. I put the child labor scene where the boys are spraying each other with poison, and Billy Bob like
hey.
stops him, and he's like, "That shit's
cancer?
expensive."
He's worried about the money.
Yeah. That was like one of the only genuine laughs I had, just
Mhm.
because his comment of like, "That shit's expensive." So,
Yeah.
I put the final baseball game, just like that long extended sequence of like the final match. I
mhm.
actually like kind of was invested at that point with the team, and not even really before, but I was like, I just kind of want to see how this plays out, and it played out pretty well.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
he started like putting out all the players who like weren't really playing, or he was like, the kid he was telling to just take a hit and stuff.
Mhm.
Like once he started opening up, I was like, it made me consider that scene. I was like, this is all right.
Billy Bob feels something.
He's doing
Shit,
something.
like,
Yeah.
It was just so fucking flip floppy though.
I
I mean,
mean, it
like,
comes out of
it was
nowhere.
just so unconvincing. Yeah,
Right.
it really did like come out of nowhere that he just
Yeah.
like changed his perspective.
Yeah,
I think it was when
Definitely.
when the other coach like pushes his son, right? Isn't it like right after that? He's like,
But I
oh
think, like,
man,
he had been
I
putting
can't
them
be
in
that asshole.
The whole time, like I think it's before that he started
Is it?
like doing stuff.
Did he?
But I don't know.
I can't remember.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
That
There was
scene,
one
but
game
I
that
thought
he
that
had.
was like later in the game when that happened. Like I
Mhm.
don't know, like 50.
There was
I
at
think
one
it
point
might
where
be
Billy Bob
after.
just decided to be a real coach, where it felt like, what the fuck changed his mind? Like it was just
Yeah.
one bad game, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Sorry guys, I was an asshole. Let's get out there
Yeah.
and play some baseball." I was like,
Mhm.
"Huh? What?"
Yeah,
I think that was after he pushes down the
Yeah.
kid.
I
Yeah,
gotta
because like
have something
a
to
new
trigger it.
pitcher, that kid leaves and they get a new pitcher, and he's like,
Mm.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
right.
I think
Or
so.
Colorado.
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay, you guys got a
But,
favorite proper set? And also, I was
Yeah.
gonna bring up with this category, the rewatchables when they do like a prop thing. It's like, what would you want to own, or like, what would you like
Mhm.
what would you if you could like have something from the movie as like put on your shelf or whatever the fuck. Kind of like that idea more than just like your favorite one.
Yeah.
But I feel like we
Yeah,
could maybe do both of or if we want to or something. Or
Honestly,
Bob's
this one's
beer
kind of
can.
tough.
I put the non-alcoholic beer cans. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like I don't know. There's like a bat, maybe, but like
I put the cork
game
bat.
ball?
Yeah.
yeah, the cork
Mm.
bat, yeah, the game ball, yeah.
Game
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just
You
a
wanna-
hat or a jersey. Like
Yeah, like a
Bad News
bear.
Bears
That'd
hat
be
or jersey.
that'd be cool.
I do like the
Yeah.
jerseys with the strip club
Yeah.
like sponsorship. I think
Mhm.
that-
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Pay taxes like everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you guys do for your double feature with this one?
Obvious bench warmers, right?
Yeah, I had
Yeah, that's
bench
what I feel like,
warmers.
I put also kicking and screaming. feel like there's a
Okay.
lot of DNA that crosses over in this movie time.
Yeah, that's definitely
Is
true.
that-
The same year too.
I think Will Ferrell plays a little better.
Definitely.
As a coach, and then
Speaking of playing better, would you recast anybody on this one?
Blonde boy who was always yelling. Like, just relax.
Wow.
oh yeah,
But
In the
Yeah.
old version, everyone looks like that little blonde boy. So
really,
really?
every player
well, I
almost.
hated all the kids in this, so I would just recast all the kids personally,
I
besides
found
the
the
kid in the
daughter.
wheelchair.
You could recast the daughter. I don't know.
Yeah. The daughter is
Her
actually
acting
like a
and the-
softball player. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
she got
Yeah.
the role. Similar to
So it's
School
like
of Rock.
the guitar player in School of Rock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I put Billy Bob Thornton.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Old.
Maybe.
I thought he like was good and he did what he got paid to do, you know, but like I think it kind of just like sent the movie in the wrong direction. Like I said, there's too much
Yeah.
like bad Santa shit going on.
That's why
I-
the first thing I wrote down and like the first thing I said about the connections between School of Rock and this movie, I feel like it was a situation where like I don't even know if Linklater wanted to do this movie or if it was a situation where it's like
Somebody's
I don't know,
making
he
the
did
Bad
School
News
of
Bears
Rock,
remake.
and then somebody was like, "You're gonna do this one for us because we
Yeah.
helped you out with I don't
Yeah.
know another one."
I could
Like,
see that.
I-
Or it's like, hey, you
That was
did pretty
definitely
good with School of Rock.
yeah.
Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
So
I
I
actually-
like that one.
One of my main notes was like, overall, everything was like acting wise was weak. Even Billy Bob Thornton. So yeah,
Yeah.
Billy Bob didn't even bring the heat.
Yeah.
What do you think about Samuel L. Jackson? How's that movie
Nah.
taste? No?
A lot more motherfuckery going on in there.
yeah, and I can't see
Yeah.
him playing baseball.
No.
Can,
I don't
fucking
know.
Billy Bob? Okay, he kind of looks like
He's
he'd be
a
really
Reggie
old.
Jackson type. Yeah, I could see it maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
if it's not Sam Jackson, what about Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Now we're
What
talking.
do you think about
Yeah.
that one?
That's a
Well,
Because
good.
the-
you gotta have
Yeah.
like an emotional in. You know, with Billy Bob,
Yeah.
there's just all fucking artifice. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Imagine Seymour Hoffman with his character from Punch Drunk tamed down a little bit.
Right, kind of wild, kind
Yeah.
of reckless.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
movie
the
would be
coach.
100% better.
All right,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
that'll be like the next remake of
Yeah.
this,
Well,
Yeah.
when
New
they
actor.
resurrect him.
directed by
Yeah.
you guys.
The remake.
It's like
The
Rest in
remake.
peace.
one of you gets a phone
Philip.
call like right now.
All right, you guys got some nitpicks on this one? Something that didn't sit right?
Yeah. Would they seriously let Buttermaker drink a fucking can of beer in the field, in the dugout,
It's non-alcoholic,
around
bro.
the kids?
Right?
Probably
But
not.
still,
Yeah.
open substance? I don't know.
You know what's crazy is at the end he hands them all beers and he's like, it's non-alcoholic, don't worry, right? And in the old one he just hands them beers. You're like,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
So they basically upped all the gross out humor and nastiness and then toned down like some weird cultural thing about drinking a beer when you're a kid. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing with this
That's
movie?
too far, man.
Yeah.
Too far. You can Buttermaker hit on a 12-year-old, but no, they can't drink
Right.
beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't show them drinking beer because then we're gonna get a lot of
That's
calls from a lot of
crazy.
mothers that should have never shown their children this movie to begin with. Like,
They brought all the kids to Hooters and shit.
yeah.
Right.
I just put the humor does not age well. Most of it, pretty bad, in
Yeah.
my opinion. You could say it's like kids at that time, but honestly, that like it just felt too much. And
Yeah.
I thought Billy Bob's character was too sarcastically dumb. He's talking about like not knowing what uniforms he's supposed to get. He doesn't know what a caterpillar turns into. He's like, I don't know, like a moth.
Yeah,
It's like it's just not believable, dude. Like you're not that
Yeah.
stupid. But that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Why
other
did
thing
they-
I have was like, would that kid who doesn't give a shit about anything just like decide, I'm gonna play baseball for this team?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
I don't
The
think so.
girl did it for the
Girl.
girl.
Nah, he can get pussy elsewhere.
Yeah.
But she
Feel
was
that.
skaters.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah, I
edgy,
don't know.
dude. Had to fucking ride that, he had to show off with his bike, fucking ramp that shit in. Mm,
Fucking A,
make a
man.
scene.
Ooh.
Yeah. New category adding now, clever girl. You guys think that this movie did anything that was like, good job? You know what? I like that. My example for this one is I liked how they showed each of the batters throw the old bat back to the dugout when they got up to the bat. Like for most like baseball movies, you'd kind of just feel like the new batter like walking up, and it's almost like a new scene kind of with like this guy's turn. This one is like you felt the connective tissue of like each player and the game like building on itself. So nice touch.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
was my clever girl was the transition that I thought was cool. Like it transitioned from the baseball. I think it was a practice where it was a hit, and I think it was that edgy boy who hit the home run, and then it was caught by the other player in the next game on a different day.
Okay, nice.
But
I didn't really have a clever girl for this one. I didn't.
You
it
didn't
wasn't
think
like-
anything was clever. Wow.
I mean,
That's
some of it, but some of the
not even
jokes,
Buttermaker taking the kids to Hooters. That was clever.
super
Yeah,
be
see what
honest,
they
I
did there.
forgot what the group was supposed to be. I'm like, I wrote it down, and then I'm like, clever girl, what is that?
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
Jurassic Park?
it's
so I don't
yeah,
have
it's the
any of
reference
those.
to Jurassic Park where the
mean, yeah.
Velociraptor just shows up. Yeah. Didn't have to do it like it, they just did it a little bit better. It was a nice touch. Didn't see it coming, type of thing. You know. Moving on.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie is so mid. I don't
Yeah,
know.
It
that's
looks
fair.
fun.
That's fair. You think a TikToker could watch this movie?
No,
I don't think so.
they'd get offended
I don't
easily.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the setups, like the joke setups, were like compact enough that it's like you could find those in like a TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like with the kids just saying stupid shit. And I was
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
well, that was funny what he said there.
I guess
I
that's
just feel like
true.
it's just a little too edgy for
Yeah.
modern day TikTokers.
I can see that.
I guess like
Yeah.
usually the criteria I think about if a TikTok could watch this would be like,
Is there
Right.
AI
like,
voice in
like
the
are they going to
movie?
be entertained in
Yeah.
or else
Yeah.
in this?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an
Definitely.
interesting thing. I don't know. I guess like what all would be the criteria you think a TikToker would look at when watching movies?
Runtime for sure.
Yeah.
Stimulated at every corner.
The movement of the movie, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Every corner.
right. I think like they would not give two shits about anything to do with Billy Bob.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you're right.
Too old.
he would be
Don't
a creepy
care.
old man to them.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Which I mean, he's a creepy old man in this movie, but like,
I think we got the right read.
Is he though?
Yeah.
How fucking old is Billy Bob? Because
Probably
he's been like the same
50
age.
something,
I'm gonna look
right?
it up.
you know,
In
it's
that movie-
interesting.
Does look
We,
the
we,
same.
we're joking like, how is Billy Bob that charming? But like, look what he did to Angelina Jolie. Like that
Holy
in that
shit.
one interview, she was like in a trance with him. Like,
Wait, were they?
When your
were
name
they
is
married
Billy
at all?
Bob, you have some special
Yeah,
magic
dude,
that you're
He has that
hiding.
effect
Well,
on women.
also, I'm pretty sure when they were married, they had like vials of each
Yeah.
other's blood around
Yeah.
their, like a necklace.
Hardcore.
What?
crazy.
Fuck yeah.
That's fucked.
True love.
What are your guesses on how old he is?
I'm gonna go
Right now?
68.
Right now, 76.
What do you got, Noah?
66.
All right, Alex, you are closest. He's 69.
Fuck yeah, Buttermaker.
You still got some good years in, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Couple more movies, maybe.
Got coaching to do. Yeah,
Okay, sequel, prequel, or remake? Guys, what
Give
do any
me
of
the
them?
prequel.
Give me another remake, dude. Maybe they can hit it on the third try.
I was kind of thinking
Fuck
that
it.
actually.
I have prequel as well. I want to see Buttermaker's life when he's throwing the 2/3 of the inning. You know,
Actually, yeah.
Yep, same.
kind of Eastbound and
That's what I-
Downey. The more I thought about it, I
That's-
was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of that.
Yeah.
Exactly what I wrote down. You just
Mhm.
watch Eastbound and Down. That's the Buttermaker origin story.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Who
'cause,
would be
like,
who would
I
be the
mean,
new guy though for the remake? Who's the
That's a
new
good question.
Buttermaker for now?
It's got to be an older, so like,
Yeah, who's kind of like getting up there in age now? That would.
I
that
could
would be
see
good.
if Clooney gets a little hammy, maybe Clooney.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I can see that.
That'd be a nice little comeback for him,
Yeah.
doing like a different character like that.
I
I
basically
mean, he's
like
done
him in
goofy shit
any of the
before. Look
Coen
at Burn
Brothers
After
shit,
Reading.
I feel like
Right.
it's like how
Yeah.
he should act in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know. And how many stars are you guys gonna give this one?
2.
I give it 3.
Yeah, I give it 3.
I could go 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
It did what it was trying to do. It's just not very good.
Yeah.
Watch the old one. Watch the old one. It was
No.
worth it.
Yeah.
I think I should just either commit to like the 0 or 5,
No.
or just fucking scale around because I feel like
It's hard.
I'm just like I don't really go below 3 unless it's like bad, and like then it's like, what am I doing? You
Yeah,
know?
well, you gotta spread it out somehow. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna commit to it.
Do it.
Maybe.
All or
it.
nothing.
I'll think about it.
I would just love to see your like
One star or
graph on
5
Letterboxd.
stars?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Killers
so-
at both
yeah.
ends.
There would definitely be more 5s and 0s, but like, because like, as in like, if you go off the 3 question criteria,
Right.
with
It's
like,
just
were
easy
you
5, more
entertained,
easy 5s. Yeah.
rewatchable, would you entertain, or would you recommend? I mean, like, if you get 2 out of 3 of those and it's a 5-star, then like, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of 5 stars. Like,
That's fair.
Yeah. It's gonna be quite a bit.
Maybe you
I
should
don't know.
commit to it. I'd love to see you commit to this.
Yeah, I want to see what like falls in which category.
all right, maybe I'll do it.
Shit or get off the pot.
I don't know, I'll
Joe,
let you
all
know.
right?
Yeah, go out, brother.
All right, you boys ready to talk some A Scanner Darkly?
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's get into this one. The next animated movie for Linklater. I know you guys loved the first so much
Mhm.
that he made another one right for you.
Thank Christ.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we really needed that. I mean, the movie
Yeah.
like didn't need to be animated. We can all agree on that,
didn't.
right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, even if you say that the reason it needed to be animated was because of the fucking suits that
They
like
didn't-
make them look like anybody, you could just have them wear a fucking mask or like just with a fucking voice
They could-
modulator or some shit, and you wouldn't have to have it animated. Is what
the
I
V
mean.
from
I didn't
Vendetta
see that.
mask. Put it on.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know, man. But also, yeah, all right. Yeah.
I just think-
that's all I'm gonna say for now. I don't even.
I need to
yeah.
cool
I
down.
don't want
I
to
need
get
to.
too hot.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with
Take it
you,
easy, man.
'cause
Take it easy. Shit.
The last one, I was like, you're in a dreamscape. I get that you're fucking,
Yeah,
gonna
right.
be all
Yeah,
whooshy
it
and
fits.
weird. But
But
Yeah.
this one, like, there wasn't even that much like crazy shit. I think like the beginning with like the weird bugs, and then like
Yeah.
them the bugs in one scene about like 3/4 of the way through the movie, and that's like the only weird shit that I can remember like happening in the movie. Really, I mean, there was a couple other times, but it's like,
Yeah.
did you need to animate it just for like 3 or 4 times?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, that's like 18 months of work.
And like realistically, if you spent more time polishing your story and actually coming up with like an interesting idea, because like it was kind of there, like the seeds of an interesting idea are there. It's just like too convoluted and confusing that like
Yeah.
it makes no sense. I don't know if I was
Right.
just the only one thinking that, but
I'm
like
glad you said that
I-
because I have no idea what this movie was
I mean,
necessarily
Keanu
about.
Reeves walks
Right.
out of the police station where, like, apparently nobody's supposed to know who they're working with, which is like fine. And they're going after a person who like looks like Keanu Reeves, but like he also gets the phone from the police station, and then they start like tapping his phone, following him because they think that he's the person. And I'm just like, if they knew that are any of you following me right now? Because like he
No.
gets the
You've
phone-
lost me
he
already.
gets like he takes a phone out of an envelope after he's leaving the police station,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
and he's like on the phone with Winona Ryder, I think.
Yeah, you just want some drugs, right?
Yeah,
What's that? D.
but like he got the phone from the police station, and like it's like, didn't he
Yeah.
get the phone to try to do this police investigation? Like, why?
He's
I don't-
undercover, right?
I guess that makes sense. And then they're
Then
after
they,
him
like,
because
started-
nobody knows who anybody is. But like,
No.
Yeah.
There's like
They
something
started
clever
splitting it.
here where it's like, oh, his motivations were totally not what I thought. The whole, it's like,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
like
kinda.
somewhat clever, but it doesn't work in your brain. The things don't add up correctly when you're watching it. For
Just the
me
flow of
to,
the
Just
scene.
because you're not on
Yeah.
Substance D, man.
you got to be on that
honestly,
D.
I think
Hops
do,
up.
do any of you guys know what Infinite Jest is? Like the book? Have any of you tried to read it or anything?
I've never
like that?
read it, no, but yeah, I've
So,
heard
like,
of it.
do you know the premise? Basically, it's like, I mean, the core thing that you're supposed to take away from it basically is that, like, the content that you fill your time with, like, pretty much establishes who you are as a person. And, like, there's this videotape, this, like, VHS or some shit going around in Infinite Jest that, like, really majorly fucks people up where they can't even, like, talk coherently anymore and shit. And there's a lot of, like, there's a lot of fucking weird drug shit where people are just, like, addicted to drugs and that's how they spend their time. So, like, that's who they become. And I feel like Richard Linklater basically read that book and then wrote this fucking movie. And
Well, it is based on a story by Philip K.
Philip K.
Dick.
Dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I
Yeah.
don't know
That
when
Blade
these
Runner guy?
novels came into play. Who's that?
Gotcha.
Did he write Blade Runner too?
He honestly
Philip
didn't look it up. He might have. Yeah, I think he's a semi sci-fi guy. Like, I don't even really know, but
I'm looking it up.
I
Oh,
kind of
shit.
wonder like how much is extracted from that as far as like plot elements and whatnot go. I assume a lot, and I kind of wonder if that
Yeah.
novel or
Blade
that
Runner.
short story or whatever is just like not the best.
Came out in
Blade Runner?
1977.
Maybe.
Minority Report, Total Recall. Wow, Philip K. Dick had some
He's
good
on it.
ones.
Yeah, this is the lesser, I'd say maybe. It's like
Yeah,
so
definitely.
like vaguely sci-fi that it like never really gets to a full like fulfilling
Yeah.
conclusion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
honestly,
like, I don't know, they're looking for these people selling these drugs the whole time. And then you find out that, like, I don't know, it kind of was just the people who, like, it was the fucking rehab center the whole time that, like, was kind of just like,
They're secretly
brought in
growing
at
the
the very end.
drugs,
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
but they're sending
That's
people
what I
from
read.
rehab there.
Once you get a
That's what I
monopoly on
read.
it, you can control it.
That's what I read after this.
Sure.
Was like was like they started fucking over Keanu Reeves. They actually started getting him addicted so they could find the source of it.
Yeah,
And,
they didn't care about
but-
like that. Yeah, but then they send him to rehab. But then the rehab
they-
center sends him to the farm, or the
Right.
police
Yeah.
sent him to the farm through the It's like
the rehab.
Yeah,
I think.
right? 'Cause there
What?
was just like a weird connection there. Like there wasn't really
Yeah.
a connection there.
Not at all.
I don't
Yeah.
know. The animation like also disconnected me from like this supposedly futuristic
Oh, yeah.
world. It didn't seem
Yeah.
like a futuristic place.
Yeah.
either. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's only
Alright,
7
this
years in the future.
All right.
How different can it look?
Exactly.
I want flying cars, man. I want fucking.
Okay. So, big question to ask though. Separate the story of this one completely out of your mind. Is the animation good? Do you
No.
like
No.
the animation? Why not?
Do you
No.
know? Do you know who fucking isn't like? I don't know.
Fine.
Here, let me.
I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
I don't like
fucking-
animation,
His name's like
like
Joel
it-
Haber or something.
In
All
general.
his animated shit is like in this same format, and it's just like the shittiest shit. It's just like weird motion capture shit. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
The thing about animation is like I can't. It's harder for me to connect with characters. That's why animated stuff I don't really like love. So it's hard for me initially to
Mhm.
connect with an animated character. But when you do shit like this where it's super distracting animation, it just pisses me off. So
yeah,
Yeah. There's
I
almost
don't
head
find
abuse.
it angry. I actually enjoy the style as it's like washing over me. Like, but I also think paired with
Oh,
the
fuck yourself, Matt. You in Waking Life too? Like,
Waking Life is way better
What
than
is
this
it?
one too. I mean,
Yeah,
that one
I agree.
fits. Like the animation fits. This one not so much.
yeah,
But I do like. I like the. I feel like I'm more connected with the story or the characters with this animation style because it's actually using real footage. Like when you can feel the real
sort
movements.
of, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel like I'm actually like this is more real than an animated movie.
That
you know,
being
like
said, why was it animated then?
Right.
Yeah.
I would have
What was the
connected to the
purpose?
story and the characters if it was live action, man.
100%.
Like 100%.
I thought that too. I was like, I want to see these actors like doing their shit. I think this
Yeah.
movie would be more well received if it was just like a normal movie. 100%.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr. cooking with his fucking monologues
Yeah.
in not animation. Fuck yeah.
It would feel unique. I mean, this does feel unique in a way, but like not in the right way. You know?
No. It's not a
Yeah.
good unique.
But also the animation,
far.
some frames I found like teetering on like almost complete realism. It's like when you look at it like from a farther away like perspective, or you're not like digging into like the grain of the animation. It's like, wow, that feels like a real frame almost. I had that experience multiple times where it's like it's kind of like bridging into like reality in weird ways. Maybe it's just because it's like live footage or whatever, but I don't hate the animation. I think it's fine. It was a bad choice for this one, 100%.
Yeah.
It makes
but-
one of us.
yeah, just 1 out of 4 of us likes the animation.
I
3 out of 4 of us
like
think
I don't
it's
like
shit.
shitty AI animation, but like
That's
this
what
is before you could even do that. So it's like I guess knowing how it came to be is also like, oh yeah, it's not that shitty shit.
I know it's
you
not
know?
AI, but it
It's not that
Right.
shitty shit.
Not that shitty shit. It's just like the shit, you know?
Yeah. Deep
Yeah.
in the shit. You're in the
Deep
shit.
in the shit. Knee deep.
Uh.
Um. Yeah, I guess this could be nitpicks, but if you want to just talk about it now, what exactly is the point? This also goes to the plot. What's the point of the special morph suits? Why is Keanu wearing the special morph suit in the story?
I mean, I think
You
that's
tell me, man.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't,
Yeah.
man. That's
Wait,
the
like,
problem.
like you talking like literally or figuratively? Like in reference to like
Both,
the actual
man.
story
Both.
or like
Fuck,
what it's
teach me
supposed to mean
something.
outside? Because I mean, like in the context of the story, nobody's supposed to know who they are, so they just use. The
But
suits.
why?
But they end up
He's working
knowing
in
him
the
anyway.
police.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
scanning him.
I think it's at the very beginning. He's like giving the speech about how I don't know
That
for
speech.
the certain task force or something. None of them
Yeah.
know who they are, and it's like an undercover task force and shit.
It does, you can't even be scanned, but no one's scanning you.
Look,
So like, why
Pictures
the
of
Yeah,
fuck are
departed,
you?
right.
but nobody knows who each other are. Like, nobody knows who
Yeah.
each other is.
I have a tip. Instead of putting the suit on, just don't have him talk in front of large crowds and just keep it on the DL. Like nobody needs to know who he is.
Yeah.
Bring him in the back
without the suit.
door.
That's
Like,
pretty fucking easy.
if are you working an 8-hour
also-
shift in a police station with a fucking suit on? It's like, what?
What if
What?
this
How
wasn't
does he breathe?
animated and they were just
Yeah.
wearing literally a morph suit and he just goes into there, takes off the morph suit, puts it in a closet, and then just leaves. In
That's
real
true.
life.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah,
work
fuck.
too, right?
Well, actually,
The
no.
whole
I'm
suit
sorry.
idea
Wait.
is like, oh, it's a cool idea, but it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
dumb as
it
shit.
is.
It
It's
just
so
made me
dumb.
think that he puts it into a locker in the police station, right?
He does, yeah.
He wears the suit
he
in the
does.
police station and then takes it off and then walks out of the police station like fully unmorph suited.
So,
They're
but
gonna
it's
be
like
like,
he
"Who's
goes
this
out a
guy?"
different door
But he
of
wears
the
a suit.
same room. So it's like
So why don't you
that's
just
like-
bring him in that door every time and not wear a fucking suit?
Quit
I don't
asking
know.
serious
These are
questions like
for
this.
Linklater,
okay?
man. These,
yeah, question.
Or it's
let's
or
get
it's
him out of
K
here.
Dick.
I like
It's like, what did this is? Why is this serving a function? I guess if he's not actually in the police and he's just some dude off the street and the police pulled him in and they're like, you work for us now, but nobody knows who you are. Like,
I don't
you
think
wear
that's
this
the case,
weird
though.
ass suit that we for some reason put a bunch
thought
of
he was
money
just
into.
part of the
Are
police.
you just saying hypothetically?
That's
or
what
are
I
you
thought
saying
too.
Literally, what is going on? Because like,
Oh.
I mean, that's possible. I guess.
I assume that's kind
I
of
don't
what
know.
happened.
I just
but
thought like he.
I thought he worked for the
actually a
police,
cop,
too.
Had infiltrated these people like Robert Downey Jr. and Woody Harrelson and the
Yeah.
other dudes.
That's what I thought too. Is that not what happened?
Because he's undercover and he's a cop, and then he basically just lost himself. Is that
It's
not
start-
what happened?
It's starting to
That's-
make me
that's what
think that
happened.
he was never a cop, and he's like,
Oh,
maybe he was on the D, and they're like, now you work for us. That's kind of my assumption to make the story work. You know,
That's what I thought. But I thought initially what they wanted us to think was that he was being undercover for
He was a
Woody,
cop.
Woody Harrelson in the game, in the
100%.
gang. But then
Right.
later on in the movie, it makes it seem like what you just said, Matt, where he was never a cop to begin with. He just started to hate his family one day, started doing drugs, and then the cops used that, like,
Yeah,
because they were like, this group of people is just funneling in that sweet D. So like, let's target them. I don't
and
know.
then Winona Ryder has always been a cop, and she
Yeah.
wears the suit.
Right.
At the end,
Yeah,
I-
that
fuck.
was
Huh.
Yes,
Well,
I
we
know.
solved the first part potentially, but that second part, I don't know how that works. She's been playing him, but she's also doing the D.
Yeah.
And
And the
smoking joints and shit. Like what?
RDJ is the guy they've been looking for this whole time, actually. Which makes sense. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I don't
the scene that really confused me was with RDJ and he's talking to Keanu with the morph suit in the police station, and I was like,
Yes. And he's like, "Can I have a job application?"
what
Yeah.
is? I don't know. Maybe I
yeah,
just
like
didn't
how did they
understand
not
it.
know? Like I don't.
Yeah. He's got
Because
the
it's
morph
like-
suit,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, there was just so much about the movie that I just didn't understand, and I'm
No.
like,
Yeah.
am I just not paying enough attention, or
You're
like
just
am
not on
I-
the right drugs, Joe. You're
Like,
just
I
not on
don't
the right
know.
Yeah. Get on that
Probably, yeah.
wavelength.
I might have been on drugs when I was watching it. I don't know.
It didn't work. All right. Did you guys pull a theme out of this one? Mine are
Don't
drugs are
trust your
bad.
government, man.
Yeah, that's
Fiction?
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
fair.
bad, yeah.
100%. I said drugs are bad, and the people who police the drugs are also bad.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
government.
I'd probably
Yeah.
just go with all those. That's pretty much what I took from this. Government
Yeah.
drugs are bad.
Yeah.
And they push it.
Did you learn your lesson, Joe?
I didn't bring this up already, but like I finally finished that Chaos book, the Charles Manson
Fuck
one.
yeah. Speaking of
crazy.
which,
So like,
Yeah.
yeah, basically now I'm like, everything's a fucking conspiracy. The government's bad.
It's
There we
insane. That book
go.
is
Why?
like
Wait,
a game
why?
changer, man.
I
Would
don't know.
explain
There was,
like why Manson did all that shit or something, or
I mean, to
Freaking
be honest,
MK
that
Ultra,
part,
right?
in my opinion, was kind of a stretch. Yeah, apparently the MK Ultra shit and like the weird hypnotizing
It's
LSD
just
tripping
what
God.
really
CIA
convinced me.
undercover projects. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like, I feel like he was an informant of some sort, right, for the CIA.
Probably,
But also with the MK Ultra stuff, what really like kind of sold me on this idea was like Manson's never seen taking LSD or any drugs. He always administered it, right? And then he would tell them to do these things. But also they didn't do violent acts unless they took the fuck actual hard drugs, like outside of hallucinogens. They took different types of drugs
Cocaine.
that would cause them to do violent things. So it was just like Manson would know that that triggers it due to the study that this other guy did on drugs and how which ones can trigger violent tendencies. And the ones that trigger violent tendencies were the ones they took before the nights that they would murder people. So it's just like it feels too set up.
Hmm,
Good book though.
interesting.
Yeah,
Bro,
it was
you're deep in that rabbit hole.
I
Holy fuck, man.
kind
like,
of, I mean, I love
um,
that shit. I need to
well,
read
there's
this
like
book.
the relationship with Sharon Tate's dad that like the viewer or like the writer has that he like kind of fucks up because like her dad was the only guy that he could basically get this information on this one CIA dude. It was like
Yeah.
it was like Reeve Wilson or something along those lines.
Mhm.
And basically like that was a dead end for that guy, but basically that guy was confirmed like working for the CIA and also
Yeah.
like affiliated with the Charles Manson group or
Yeah.
family.
Because he was like undercover the whole time, and like the big movie producer or not movie music producer who was like involved so deep in with Manson.
Dude,
It's just
how much the fucking Beach Boys were involved
Yeah.
with Charles Manson? That was
What?
crazy, man.
dude. Yeah, he was
No,
like
you're
living
fucking-
at their house. Like
You're
I
fucking
can't
right
believe
now.
it.
was
The
also-
Beach
That's
Boys?
not
the-
true.
the,
That's
like,
not true.
I think that was also Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski's house, or did that
Yep.
was
Yeah,
because
they
like,
used to.
that was
He
also
used to
like,
live
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It's crazy, guys. If you haven't read it, rap.
there.
It's good.
I'll
Chaos?
in my
Is it?
opinion,
go into
all
the
that
rabbit
stuff,
hole.
because it's like all that stuff is like inconclusive. Really, the only thing I can like definitively say from all those facts is like Bugliowski, the DA, was just like
Piece of shit.
consistently doing shady shit, whether it was
Yeah.
like for this case or any case that he was working on.
He was
And he
like a
kinda
mob
just-
boss.
He was kind of just fucking everything up, and that's
Yeah.
like why there was just so much stuff to dig into about this case in the first place, because he was just
Yeah,
fucking
definitely.
everything up. So I don't know. That's like
Goes-
my opinion. But I don't know.
Deep, goes deep.
Shit.
Yeah,
What'd
there
you
was
say
a
it's
lot of
called?
crazy shit. It's called Chaos.
Chaos.
How did we get on this? Drugs are bad?
Drugs are bad.
But
Drugs are
don't
bad.
trust your
Yeah, okay.
government.
And
Drugs
the
are bad.
government.
Yeah.
There always
Because the
have been
CIA plays a huge
conspiracies.
Damn.
role.
Yeah, when you hear drugs and the government in the same sentence, you know you're going on a fucking spiral. You know you're going to the rabbit hole.
Yeah, what a
Uh,
good tangent though. I'm glad you read that book. It's a good
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, it
I
was
do like a
interesting.
good conspiracy. Okay, back to a scanner
anyway.
darkly. Let's get back to
Sorry.
this movie.
What's the next
Favorite
shot?
shot. Favorite shot.
I don't know.
Yes. Mine was the
We got
sped up
nothing.
montage towards the beginning of the movie where they're going from like place to place and they're picking up stuff and they're heading to RDJ's place.
Pretty good.
Yeah, just kind of cool. A lot of energy. Did make me think. I was like, this would have been better maybe potentially if it was live action. But I was like, I enjoy
Yeah,
the
it would've.
shots. So
Yeah,
Mine
I
was-
didn't enjoy any of the shots personally, but what do you got?
Mine was
Noah?
the end because I thought it was
It was
just
lame.
cinematically nice, but it didn't have like the narrative impact that I think
that
it
I
was going
wanted.
for.
Yeah.
So
I
It
don't know.
looked
The only
nice.
thing I can think of is when they're standing in the driveway and the one guy's freaking out, and then he like looks back at them and they're like,
oh yeah,
That's like the
Yeah.
only thing I can think of. I don't
that
know.
was pretty funny.
I just didn't like this movie.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Same.
Did you guys have a favorite quote then or no?
There was
I-
one quote I couldn't remember it fully, but there was like somebody was talking about how like if God placed us here for bad things happen. I don't know. It was a long ass quote. I don't know. That was
Something to
Oh,
do
was
with
it
God.
yeah.
the like the kind of I don't know, just like the random group of people who are walking down the street? or
Yeah,
whatever?
it was some guy named Mike who said it, I think, or something like that. I don't know, some rando, not a part of the core like group of people. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't really remember a lot of this, but I wrote down the quote: "When you're going north, it screws this way. When you're going south, it screws that way." I think they were like working on the car or something. It was just like a throwaway
road.
joke line, but yeah.
Dude, like, I don't know. When they started working on the car after the car like was freaking out, I'm just like, are they actually smart or are they like idiots? Yeah, like I
No,
can't
RDJ's
tell.
character is 100% just trying to like seem smarter.
He was
Yeah.
so
That's
full of
like-
shit.
Talking
Yeah,
about the
Yes.
18
But then they're, like,
gears or whatever
fixing
the fuck.
car, and I'm
That-
just like,
that was
what the
my
fuck?
favorite
Like, I don't know, because like they all get out of the car and then they're like looking at it on the side of the road, and they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's wrong or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
It's probably
How
this.
do you-
the,
yeah,
the
like-
exchange of gas or whatever. Yeah, like whatever, man.
you're full of shit.
Yeah. My favorite scene or quote, I guess, was just the conversation about the bike and the 18 speeds.
Yeah, that was
and-
pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That was a
I
good
was
one.
like, yeah, that's nice,
So he's gonna sell me their extra gears or whatever.
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
Well, that leads me into best performance because I put Robert Downey Jr.
That's what I put
Yeah.
as well. RDJ.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think in live action, Woody would have like given him a run as like a tag team.
Yeah, I mean them together is like that's some gold. You know, it's like
Yeah.
unseen
Too
gold.
bad it was fucking animated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and it's also
chemistry
like
would be-
before the Iron Man comeback, so it's kind of like a
Yeah.
time capsule of sorts for this performance for him. It's pretty
I
good.
say he's got the real life experience, not trying to throw shade, but
No,
he's
for,
got
I
the real
mean,
life.
yeah, he brings the truth.
Definitely.
He's
Yeah.
grounded,
there was
weird
like-
yet grounded.
Holy shit! Wait, this came out in 2006, right?
Yeah,
And then Zodiac came out in 2007. So
yeah,
like,
he's on
they
the
were
comeback.
pretty solid performances right before he did Iron Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's coming back. People were trusting him again.
With Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Good fucking movie. Great performance.
All right, best scene.
I liked when that guy was last name Freck. He was driving to the diner and like the cop pulls him over and there's like this thought bubble of what happens
yeah.
and get his head blown
Mhm.
off.
What was that off?
Mhm.
Miranda rights. Yeah.
Yeah,
That and then the diner scene too where there's a thought bubble. I just thought that was like a cool idea.
Yeah.
cool.
One of the few times the animation worked, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it brought some outside style to it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
I put the fake fighting in the driveway because most of the fun I found in the movie was like the three main characters just interacting and doing stupid shit. You know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I wrote down like when Keanu's going back to the house at the end, but I don't really know like why. There was some kind of impact there when I was watching it, but now that I'm
it's
thinking back-
completely
No,
left
it's
me
been,
now.
2 weeks
Yeah.
since I watched the movie too, so I'm
Yeah.
just like I don't even fucking.
This one did not
I
stick
totally
for me.
checked out. It didn't. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I kind of watched this one in haste too, so
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, yeah.
This was a
You
fun
guys got
watch for
a-
me,
Fair.
and I
Favorite
hated
prop or
every
set?
minute.
I mean,
So-
obviously
The
suits.
mountain bike.
Yeah, I want a bike, nice bike.
You could
Fuck
have an object from the suits for
yeah.
sure.
The
More
lost-
suit.
I like
yeah.
one of the suits.
Lost gears from the bike would be cool. You know, just a couple of
Yeah.
extra gears.
Yeah. You got like 8 or 9
I
or
don't know.
whatever
Yeah.
Do
the
you get
count
props
was.
in the movie
Yeah.
if they're not actually in the movie?
What do you? How are you trying to break those
The extra
rules?
gears?
The extra gear.
There are no rules. Clearly, you
Yeah.
didn't watch Scanner Darkly. Joe.
Yeah,
dude.
no rules. Yeah, good picks. More suit. Yep. I just said the hangout house was the best set.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Where they're all just
Yeah,
chilling
yeah.
out. That was
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Your double feature. This one's kind of a tough one. Are you gonna kind
Blade
of go
Runner.
outside the box?
You said Blade Runner.
Got that Philip K.
Blade-
Dick in him.
Which I didn't. When I was watching this, I kept feeling like this feels like something I've seen before. And then when I saw it was Philip K. Dick, and then I saw Philip K. Dick did Blade Runner, and I was like, oh,
I like
I
that.
get it because, like, kind of like the double crossing, especially in 2049 with Ryan Gosling. You know, where he doesn't know, like he thinks he's this
Like a
real
real
person.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think either Blade Runner, the original, or even 2049 would be a good double feature.
I think 2049 might be even better, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with the themes, I guess.
Yeah, like you
Can't
said,
trust government stuff.
kind of
so.
midway
I'd
twists.
probably say that if you didn't like the movie. I'd say if you did like this movie, go fuck yourself and just trying to read Infinite Jest.
Wow.
I don't have a double feature because I would rewatch
Wow.
this movie.
I put it might be just the Robert Downey of it all, but I put Natural Born Killers. There's like a weird
What
chaotic
that is, too.
energy
Yeah.
in both of those movies that are like it's hard to
That's
contain
good.
in weird ways. But
That's good.
I haven't watched that one in a while
I
though. I
think-
need to rewatch.
If you watch both of those in a row, though, you might go insane.
Yeah, you're actually crazy. You're feeling pretty like crazy after that. Okay, who would you recast? Anybody taken out, putting somebody else in?
I wrote, I wouldn't recast anyone, but I would choose to not animate. So whoever animated it, I would fire them.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
100%.
Just to avoid that.
budget. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I said, does
I'm
Alex Jones count?
Alex Jones.
The guy on the street or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the guy yelling. He's a
Yeah.
fucking real life, like fucking conspiracy dude. But not in joking. I'd probably recast Keanu, honestly, man.
That's what I thought.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I could see that. He was
He's-
the most like sore thumb of it all.
Yeah, he was a bit like better than I expected in the movie. Just overall, I think it kind of worked, but like it could have probably worked better with somebody with like
Yeah.
more of an in.
I kind
I
of
just
agree.
don't feel much
like
with him.
it might have been his performance of why I felt like I was so confused.
Yeah,
I don't
He's
know.
kinda just
like, if
going with
something
it.
was like more animated or giving me more, maybe I would have known what was
Yeah.
going on more.
His motivation
Felt something.
as a character wasn't.
Yeah, I
even
really didn't
clear.
get it a lot from his character. Like I didn't know what the fuck. Like he's like just a hole. I know about the other characters. I don't really even know what the fuck was going on with his character.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Period. Most of the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
doesn't help when the character's bad either. Nitpicks other than what I would assume your guys' is the whole movie, but
The animation. I mean, that
Yeah.
would be
I
the
wrote
biggest
the
nitpick,
animation
yeah.
is so unnecessary.
yeah. The only thing I put is there's something weird going on with Rory Cochran's lower lip. He's the guy who's like having the bugs on him and shit. I like the
Yes.
animation, but there's a moments with him where his lip like goes like
Yeah.
it's like a
Is he-
weird like I don't know. I was like, is that a
I-
performance or is that bad animation or like what is that?
I think
I
he's just
felt like his
tweaking.
character was just poorly animated. Like that was the standout. Like from the get go, I was like, "Who is this person?" Like I feel like I know him.
He's
Yeah,
a
I
dude
see him
from
before.
from
Stoner
Dazed.
guy from Dazed
Yeah.
and Confused? Okay,
Hell
that's-
yeah.
That's what I thought, but I don't know.
Fucking back.
But
He's a hip guy, dude.
that's-
Okay.
that's a good nitpick though.
Clever girl. Anything that you guys can give this movie credit for?
If I could do an
Yeah.
opposite of a clever girl, I would say don't animate and just use some fucking morph suits.
Let me think. I think the only thing I could say for Clever Girl would be the thought bubbles were a cool touch, where it was like, I don't know, a good look inside. Like you could do flashbacks like they do in normal movies, but putting the thought bubble, I thought was
Yeah.
fun.
Like that choice.
Able to pull it off because it's animated too. So I guess
Mhm.
there you go. Congratulations, you had a purpose for animation.
Yeah. Yeah. You justified it somehow. I'm gonna say that the Chiron or like the text that pops up at the very beginning where it sets it in the future, it says 7 years from now. That's it. I like that touch because it always keeps the movie in the future. Whereas like
Yeah.
most sci-fi movies in the future are like 2037.
Yeah, it's just-
Yeah.
Society is fallen.
Yeah.
This is like, oh yeah, this this kind of feels like it could always happen. And like
Yeah.
you're saying, it doesn't feel like the future. It kind of does feel like it's only a little bit in the future, you know, which is nice.
It gives it that Top Gun Maverick like timelessness, where it could be at any point in time, any enemy type situation. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
think about
keeps
that.
it open.
What was that movie that came out like a year ago? It was like something million, like 6 million or something. Billion?
Million.
Like
Oh.
6 billion.
There were dinosaurs. Adam Driver.
Yeah.
was in it. It was like
65.
65 million. Yeah.
65. What a
It's
gem.
Yeah,
really-
that movie was cheeks too.
Yeah, that's
I
bad.
don't know. I
Don't-
didn't
don't
even
even get me
see it.
started
It's just
on
like
that.
popped in
That's
my
bad.
head just to like time. Like it literally is a year. Like
Yeah.
or like a
Year.
referencing a
Year
you know,
negative
I-
65 million. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. 65 million BC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where you are.
This-
Okay.
Alright.
Could a TikToker watch this one, boys? What's the movie
Whoa.
that's gonna break this question? That's a tough one.
Whoa,
Yeah, I put nah.
Wow.
They'll probably think it's shitty AI, but then it made me think: do they care about AI?
Dude, I like if we're confused about this movie, like, and we're actually watching the movie,
Yeah.
I don't think a TikToker. They're
No,
like, it's a
they're-
no for me, dog. They're not gonna get this.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely not. They'll be like, "What the fuck is this? This doesn't look like a Pixar movie," and then they'll just move on.
That's
yeah.
Yeah. pretty fair
Yeah.
assessment, I'd say. Okay, sequel, prequel, or remake? What you guys gonna do?
Remake that bitch in live action. God damn it!
Yeah. But
I'd
yeah,
go with the
Yeah.
prequel.
Yeah. Prequel?
really. What's the
That's crazy.
prequel?
I don't
Keanu.
know.
Crazy.
To be honest, I just
Chilling.
wanted to say something different, but yeah, I think they should just remake it, not an animation. Like,
Remake could be good if you punch up the story a bit.
have all
I'd
the
say.
same
Give me-
people
give
too.
me-
Just have them do it again.
Right, just
Yeah.
do it again. Yeah.
Actually,
Or
sequel
just
7
release
years
the
down the road. put it
From
more.
then.
release the normal
Yeah.
cut. You know,
Actually,
before
yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said
Not bad.
sequel. Really, all I care about is following Robert Downey Jr.'s storyline. I don't even care like what
Honestly,
like
that's
how it
good.
checks out, but that guy's just interesting, and I kind of want to see what happens with him.
Think he gets a
I kinda
spot on the
think-
force, or
I don't
think
know.
his
I think he just kind of
episode
coasts in the gray areas of like society still, and like just
His
getting
bullshit
by.
level
Find
is god tier.
It's high.
I mean,
Yeah.
So is
does
he,
he
like,
find the
supposed to
extra
be the
gears to his
main-
mountain bike, or
Maybe that's the end of that movie, as he finally gets the gears
Oh my
that he
god.
needs.
So is he like actually the main drug dealer, like in their group, or is it like all of them?
Yeah.
thought
I
it
think
was
it was
him.
revealed
Also,
that
it's
he
like-
was, the guy they were going
It
for. the
never
whole
like
time.
establishes where he gets the drugs.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
that could have been your connection to like the rehab facility.
big pharma, baby?
I don't
yeah.
know.
Where's the shit coming
I think
from?
that was the implication, is that like they knew or suspected that the rehab place was supplying, but they had to get Kiana like or someone drugged up enough to get sent there. You know what I'm saying?
This shit
Yeah.
makes no sense.
But
but
at that point, his brain is fried, so it's like, how do you know?
yeah, it's like good
then for
job.
sure?
Now your
Yeah,
guy's on the
yeah.
inside, but he can't fucking function.
Yeah,
All he cares about is Thanksgiving now. Look what you did.
yeah. I mean, I get it. Fucking Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Something to look forward to. I know I am. All right, I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. It's interesting enough to be like watchable in my opinion, but it's very bad in its execution of plot and character, and the animation is distracting.
2
Yeah.
stars, and that is being very generous.
I gave
I
it
would say.
3, but I want to go down to 2.5.
Bro, I thought it was 0 or
I did.
5, man. What is it?
Yeah, what the
This is a
fuck?
0 then,
Okay.
right?
I'm gonna adjust at some point, but if we are doing this, it's gonna be a 0 for me.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's
I
that's
wouldn't-
fair, man.
I
Using
wasn't
Joe's scale, it's
entertained.
also a 0 for
I
me.
don't think I'd
so.
recommend this ever to anyone.
No, this is a tough
Yeah.
recommend.
And
that's
I also
fair.
don't want to rewatch this unless it's not animated.
Would you
Release
read
the
book,
live
though?
action cut. Yeah, would you be interested in the story? Yeah, like the book.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be just so much easier to follow in the book,
Yeah.
because with the book
Yeah.
you could do anything and make
Yeah.
anything like
You're like in the character's head actually. You're not just watching Keanu
Right.
with a fucking blank expression all movie.
yeah.
All right. Any last comments before we move on to the final Linklater film?
I do have I
Yeah.
didn't watch Fast Food Nation. I could sit here and listen to you guys, or I can leave. Whatever you want me to do.
What the fuck, dude?
Whatever
I
you
know.
want to do, I
I'm
guess.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
committed to
interesting, 'cause I wanted to
Nymphomaniac
ask
and
you about
lost
the
track
end.
of time.
Yeah, it was all going to
basically,
tie
like-
back together.
Yeah, because like I don't know, the end of this movie, which I don't want to ruin it for you, but like they basically like finally get to the fucking shadiest, most fucked up part of the factory that hasn't been
Oh,
shown
yeah.
for the whole movie, and like I don't know. Really, if you recut this movie, it could be a horror movie.
Kind of is, honestly. It's like a satirical horror almost.
But yeah, I just wanted to see your take on like how the
Well, I'll
last
watch it.
part affected
I'll
you.
watch it for next week, and I'll let you know. But Yeah, I
Okay.
just I
Used to
committed
watch
to a 5.5 hour long
it.
movie,
Shit.
and that was a big mistake.
Oh
So,
yeah, you're good.
Overcommitted, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I guess it's really up to you if you want to dip out or if you want to
Yeah.
listen to us talk about it. I don't care.
Well, do you think it'll mess up the flow of things? Like if my screen just disappears in the middle of our stream here, or
Yeah, I don't know how I'd be able to gauge like what's going on, without the force. I don't know. If you want to stay, it's cool.
I just don't want to make it distracting, which
Yeah,
I think
nah,
I already
gotcha.
have by saying it. But
I don't care, man. Up to you. Whatever you're feeling, man.
I'll probably just dip out and go to bed. Gotta wake up in about at 4 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
I gotta get some chicken stir fry soon.
But
Speaking
yeah,
of food,
Check
I
it straight.
will watch Fast Food Nation though and let you guys know what I thought. I
Cool.
don't know if I'll like
Okay.
it, but what did you guys think? Did you like this
go
one at
into
least?
it with an
or-
open mind.
Yeah, I did too.
I liked
Kind of
it.
just
Yeah.
didn't really see what it. I don't know. It was just. I feel like it didn't really know what it was trying to be at some points. But
Sick.
I thought it was.
Okay.
It would get a 5-star from me. It would answer the
Okay.
questions. I was entertained.
Ah.
I think I might recommend it because it's kind of interesting. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd rewatch it though. But
Let me
2 out of
pitch
3
it.
is all you need.
There you go. Let me pitch it as this for you, Alex. It's The Wire for fast food. Okay.
You're right. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Once I kind of
basically-
gauged that, I was like, you know what? Not bad.
I mean,
Say
I
no
haven't
more.
seen The Wire, but like how I would describe it is like you have like multiple different levels of like this fast food empire, which is basically McDonald's. You have like the management, and like they're trying to like figure out what's going on
Factory
with like the
stuff.
lower level shit, with like
So-
the factory or the fast food restaurant.
What you're telling me in relation to The Wire, it's the different parts of the city, except the fast food factory or
It's the
whatever
nation.
is the city. That is the character
Yeah.
that we're.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Basically.
interesting.
It does feel like that structure, honestly, but maybe that'll entice you a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me a little bit more excited moving into it. So
I guess like how I would also describe it though is like if that's your detective, the management guy, he basically he dips halfway through the movie and you don't see him again, and kind of the tone of the movie changes.
Yeah, it does.
A bit.
It's big commentary on
So it's like when
consumerism and-
McNulty leaves for like half a season, you don't see him much, and you're just
Right.
kind of like,
Yeah, he's in the
Where's
background a
McNulty
little
at?
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something,
Okay.
a different storyline takes the center stage.
you got me tunnel vision now. I'm going to be comparing it to The Wire. So thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Well, hopefully it lives up then. I mean, it's not The Wire,
Right.
but
Well,
but
Yeah.
basically-
it's a given.
few things are.
All right, boys.
All right, man.
See you guys next
Yeah.
week.
Take it
Yeah,
easy.
later.
Yeah,
Bye.
see ya.
Holy shit, 3 screens, boys. I don't know.
What the fuck?
The layout changed. Noah's at the bottom now.
Oh my.
I've always been at the bottom, but now we're in.
And yeah, moving up.
Yep.
All right, let's talk some Fast Food Nation. Like I said, The Wire fast food. I like the structure. I like the take. I'm not gonna lie, this movie like worked its way on me more than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it, and I kind of thought
I
it
just-
had stuff to say. So
I think it kind of did. I just don't know if it said it very clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I came away with too. Like it definitely had stuff to say. I feel like it just wasn't like very concise, or like it wasn't like very clear. Because like there was a lot of shit being thrown at you with like. I mean, I know it's just this fast food empire, and it's basically like I don't know, like fucking McDonald's or Burger King or some shit.
yeah,
But like the
pretty
fact
much.
that they're like bringing in the illegal immigrants to work at the factory and basically like forcing them to work there, or else they're gonna get deported.
Mhm.
I don't know. I didn't fact check that, but like, is that like legit something that a fast food company was doing at one point?
It's a good question.
Like,
I didn't
yeah,
research
yeah.
it that much either. This is also based on a book. I wonder how narrative based that book is, or if it's more like factual. I'm not sure, honestly. But
It's like,
I mean, if it's not fast food, I could see it in some
oh
other,
yeah,
yeah.
that practice for sure.
industry.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's like that aspect coupled with the fact that these big fast food companies or just meat processing plants in general are like really fucked up and hiding
disgusting.
their data. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there's like the very end where I would say that's basically like trying to get people to like not eat meat, basically. Because I mean that's like what people are shown, or like show people when they like turn vegan and fucking vegetarian and shit.
Yeah. No, I had those thoughts. I was like, wow, fuck. Like, because I've always said the biggest disconnect in my life is like eating food. Like, I like to think I'm a pretty like conscious person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I think about my actions and my thoughts. But like eating a burger, like I know for a fact my brain is like protecting me from like the pain of like this thought. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. So I've had that. I mean, I understand like what this movie's saying. And to me, I kind of took less about like, because it's pretty pointed in its satire, I'd say. A lot of it's kind of on the nose. But I took it more of like, we're all kind of just like stuck in this fucking nasty soup of industry. Yeah. And it's like, no one's like really at fault in ways, but like, it's just like how our lives are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And yeah, you gotta eat that shit sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I love eating that shit, man.
Well, like also like there were just a couple things like for my job, I look over patents for like meat processing like machines, which like I mean they have this shit all like automated and stuff like now, or like a lot of it is automated.
Mhm.
And also I was like seeing a girl like a month ago or maybe more, and she had like founded this startup where they're like implementing AI to like operate like these factories and these machines and shit to like process this shit. So it's basically just like no people actually have to do it, but it's like still like
Still
fucked
bad.
up like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think like part of it though is like maybe I don't know. Maybe it's better that it's like AI driven because like
I don't know.
I thought about like
Injury.
well yeah maybe that yeah because they show some weird like injuries in this one from the factory, but the moment with like the girl at the end where she's like walking through the like slaughter section,
that, dude.
it's like that's like taxing on the soul. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I couldn't do it. No, definitely. So
I feel like you gotta be a fucked up individual to be the one like physically.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that animal
talk about
part.
like disconnecting your brain every day.
Yeah.
You know, like holy.
It's like
fuck.
next one in, fucking.
Yeah.
Like just like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. I give this movie credit because going in, I always thought this movie was kind of more like gross out, and like I was like, oh man, I really don't want to watch the movie. But it's pretty narrative based, and there's a lot of like story and characters in it, and there are those moments, but it's not like trying to gross you out really. It's like kind of just showing you the reality, you know.
I'd say I mean really the only gross part for me at least was like pretty much the end, and that was like intentional. But I guess like maybe when the guy got his legs caught in the machine and stuff. But I don't know. Other than that, I can't really think of too much that was like that, that. You know, like that was that bad.
The dude spitting in his burger.
Yeah,
That's
that was fucking.
That's pretty nasty.
You know that shit happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought those images at the end were like haunting, and I kind of felt like that was the only proper way to end the movie, honestly. So it felt right to me, but did not want to watch it. That's for sure.
But still, you could have restructured that as like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know, and like everybody's going to the I don't know. In some way, you could make this a horror movie.
I mean, that dude is definitely that manager's a predator without a doubt.
Oh,
that guy's
worst
fucking,
character in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into categories, though, the only other outside note I really had was pretty good soundtrack in this movie. It's kind of bopping. It's kind of like silly at times and like really elevating itself, and like it's got like some marching band feel. It's like keeping the fucking pace going. It's like part of the machine, you know.
Okay.
I also wrote down as my last note. He got like a burger, a drink, and a shake for like $5.
That's crazy.
Like $4.98, and I'm just like, that's fucking insane. I mean, like.
Yeah,
like hearing that,
hearing that price, definitely.
I mean, if you got a fucking Big Mac, a McFlurry, and a Coke at McDonald's, it's like
It's double that, if not
Probably,
more.
I would assume at
10,
least
yeah.
$12. Like
Yeah,
10,
$10
$12.
minimum. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, and this was only what 15 years ago. Maybe it's almost like 20, I guess. Shit. That's crazy. Also, I didn't check. I should have verified, but this is like around the time that Super Size Me came out. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
was
Super
curious
Size Me
about
came out
that.
before this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
that
did
it feels
check
like
that.
it's capitalizing on that a little bit.
Because, yeah, I also like felt that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Super Size Me
But,
came out in 2004.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
That
And
makes
this
sense
was
then.
like 2006 or 7.
That makes total
Yeah.
sense. They're like, they're going to greenlight that one. That movie, people like that movie. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some categories. You guys get a theme out of this one? It's kind of what I was saying, where we're all like in it.
Yeah.
I said we're all eating shit.
10.
That's pretty good.
Fair. I put a lot. I put like commercialism, capitalism, consumerism, class disparity. Yeah,
I think
there's like a
these
lot.
things I got were,
Oh, you're
like,
heavy.
capitalism and just like the fucking big, I don't know, fast food corporations getting out of control and shit. And just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, meat processing and
Yeah.
how fucking bad it is for people and everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a theme you really want to dive into most days, but
Oh,
a little bit of truth nonetheless. You guys have a favorite shot for this movie?
I
It's
mean, I'd probably just say the end.
yeah. I
What
thought
shot is that?
Just
the kill
how-
floor.
Oh,
how
just
the
like
kill
those
film was
images.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the jarring like switch from like you're in a movie to now you're watching like reality, like actual images of like cows being killed. I don't know, insane. On a
Little
lighter
box
note,
of a product, and then
yeah,
just
that's
do
kind of
that.
my favorite shot was earlier. There's an overhead shot when you first see Paul Dano. They're like he comes into the restaurant, comes into Mickey's for the first time. You see this overhead shot of him like kind of like assembling the burger and then like stuffing it into the box and like passing it.
That's when he spits on it, right?
Is
'Cause
it?
That's when I think that's when he's serving the guy.
The dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
I think
main
so.
guy.
marketing dude.
Maybe I missed. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that shot.
I thought that was the time, but I think
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Maybe
It could have been.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that shot I feel like just kind of brought you into like an uneasy territory. Like this movie like made me feel uneasy in a good way, in like the right ways. Where it's like you watch like how kind of schlubby that the food you order comes from. It's like this dude in the back who's like just throwing shit together with his hands, you know, and like acting like it's like packaged well, and like yeah, that one just stood out to me. So
And like just like the difference for just like the people who worked at the actual Mickey's, like Paul Dano versus I don't know her name, but like how he's basically like he says that that's like the only job some people can get or something like that.
yeah.
And I don't know, she basically is on to like bigger and better things.
Yeah. They're both kind of angry at the business for different reasons, you know, like they take it different directions.
But even so, like he doesn't want her to like leave at the end when she
Yeah.
like leaves the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. And how like just like how the guy tried to get her to stay basically.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
don't
was
know.
kind of weird.
Kind of like
Yeah.
guilted her a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite quote. I put maybe the obvious one, but I said it's a sad fact of life, Don, but the truth is we all have to eat a little bit of shit from time to time. That was Bruce
Yeah.
Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
don't know,
good. I didn't
but
have one.
I got a big one. Sorry. I don't know.
yeah.
Is that the like marketing team or whatever?
Yeah, he's
I
like,
think
I got a
so,
big
yeah.
one. Yeah. That was a good scene.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, best performance. Who stood out in this movie?
Avril Lavigne, dude, without a doubt. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, I'd probably
I'm
say
kidding.
just the marketing.
I was just surprised
guy.
to see her in there. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's like for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Greg Kinnear.
I put the restaurant manager, old friend who Greg Kinnear visits, who's like running that Mickey's. He's pretty good. I don't know. I kind of liked that guy, and he's the villain in the new Mission Impossible. That's where that guy is at now.
Cool.
Shit.
But honestly, I think it's probably just gonna be Bruce Willis though. Like
Yeah.
He
the
was also
performance he gives is it's classic
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. He comes into the movie at the right time and just fucking like nails it.
And I feel
Yeah.
like, I don't know, you just have to be good to like pull off like a good asshole like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you have
Yeah,
to be a
true.
good actor to like do shit like that. I don't know. Or
Bring-
maybe you
bring
don't.
that
I don't
energy.
know. It's just like,
to make
If you
it like
know Leonard
likable in
Perkins
ways,
is,
or
like, or like, I don't know, just like what's really gonna grind somebody's gears to hear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
No,
like a
yeah.
realistic take of like what that person would be like.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not like one dimensional, just like evil. He's just like a dude. You know, he's just Bruce
Yeah.
Willis, fucking like living his
Okay.
life.
Climb the ladder and
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Best scene? Any?
Yeah, but also, I just want to get back to that scene because he's talking to Greg Kinnear, and he says that his boss was like having an affair with the secretary or something,
Yeah.
and he asked Bruce Willis, he's like, have you seen her or something like that? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yeah. She was hot back then, or something.
Know more about that, and I'm like, so like, does he think that's fucked up? I don't know. I'm just like, why do we? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
There's
is
a-
his boss actually doing this shit, or like is Bruce Willis lying? Because I
Yeah.
feel like no,
Like,
like,
Just to like save his skin. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to dig at him or something. Yeah.
Good question.
nah.
I don't know.
All right. Best scene. What you guys got?
I put the Ethan Hawke scenes.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was
Admittedly.
interesting.
He was good.
I
in it.
kind of liked.
He was just randomly in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised by it,
It's
and
the fun uncle.
Yeah,
yeah,
I put him
still
down
brought-
as a butter maker.
really.
I don't know. Something about him just seemed
He's a little
really
creepy.
Thornton-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, they
That's
go to the
fair.
fucking bar, and the first
Yeah.
question he asks her is if she's on the pill. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
That is
That's
weird.
a
Yeah. And why is he
bit of
taking her
a-
to the bar to begin
Yeah.
with?
Yeah.
That was weird. All of
That is
his
weird.
vibe was weird. It's like,
That's fair.
Didn't even think about it.
and then Avril Lavigne comes up and is like, "Hey, your uncle's super hot," and I'm just wait,
Yeah.
or was that just
Right?
her?
No,
I don't
that
know.
Avril?
that's it's this. Yeah, it's her. It's a
And
different
I'm just
scene,
like,
but
what the
yeah.
fuck? Like,
Yeah,
it's weird.
that is weird. Yeah.
Well, shit.
I put.
Actually, my favorite, my best scene, Bruce Willis.
I mean, honestly, that's a good pick. Yeah. I'd say my favorite one was when Don first goes to Mickey's for the first, and he's like gauging the worker about how good she is or whatever, and then you go back and you see Paul Dano and like the process of the burger to him. Like that scene, I think was my favorite.
Why? Yeah, why? Why is that?
I mean, it starts interesting, like you know the character, and he comes in and he's like, "I'm gonna see how good this worker is." So you're kind of like you kind of know the stakes or like what's going on, and then I feel like it kind of morphs into like the somewhat of a thesis of the movie where it's like, "I'm gonna have a big one," and then you see how the big one's made, and it's kind of like this shitty fucking like, I don't know.
Just sets it up right.
Yeah, it's just like a good idea, and
Okay.
this like it plays out pretty well early on in the movie.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I did have a worse scene though for this one.
Oh yeah.
And it's with the students later in the movie. They're like talking about like the Patriot Act and shit like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, you could have cut that scene, man. I don't know. I just did not need it.
them in the dorms and in that like commune area. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of hard to listen to
Yeah.
a little bit.
But
Or,
it
like,
did. Yeah.
when they actually enacted their plan and cut the fence and they went in there with the cows, I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, just cut the fence and leave. Like,
yeah,
you did your job. The cows are
Yeah.
gonna leave
they'll
If
walk.
they
not.
did- if
Like,
they-
Yeah.
anything you do isn't really gonna affect them after that. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that too. It's like, why are you fucking around? In
I feel
there?
like that was
Yeah.
just to like build anxiety for a car coming, and then they're just like almost.
It also kind of like yeah.
Shit.
It also kind of plays into the final scene where it's like they're trying to save the cows, and it's probably not those cows, but then the next scene or whatever is like cows being slaughtered.
Yeah.
So like they didn't get to save them, or like they didn't save themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, there also the weird little Factoid. Glenn Powell's in this movie somewhere. Is he the dude with the
Yeah.
long hair?
No. He's they're in like high school and they're like eating lunch or something. Paul Dano comes out and is like explaining some weird shit, and then like he's one of the friends in their friend group.
Okay, I
That
missed
happened
him then.
really?
Fuck.
Yeah, I like picked him out and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah,
I was
That's cool.
looking for him. Shit. Yeah. I was like, where is this guy? Okay.
let me see if I
Steve.
can find a picture.
Fucking Steve,
That's
man.
that's the name of his character, Steve.
Nice.
Hmm.
There's his
I
first
didn't even
Linklater appearance. There we go.
Yeah.
Fast Food Nation.
Who'd have thought?
Right.
Who'd have thought he'd be here now?
All right. Favorite proper set? Something you guys would want from this movie? Or you thought it was
Burgers,
good?
man.
You want that
A
burger?
big one?
Specifically
Yeah.
Bruce Willis's burger. I don't know why.
that- I
that
mean,
one looked good.
That one did look good.
Yeah.
I think
The
it's a
rest of them
fun.
just looked fine.
Oh,
The
yeah.
lighting.
I think it's a fun idea that it shows like them eating a different burger at like a nicer restaurant though. It's just like a fun idea too to like show these guys aren't really with the company, like they're
Yeah.
just living and like
Doing their
working at the
job.
company. Yeah.
Yeah.
I separate maybe just like a Mickey's hat.
I don't know. To be
Yeah.
honest, I would say. Wait, can I pick
I want the chainmail apron
proper
from
set? I would pick
Damn, yeah, that's
the
cool.
ranch house because that house
What?
actually seemed kind of nice. I
Oh,
could
yeah,
live
yeah.
there.
Oh,
For
the ranch
sure.
hand.
Seemed very comfy. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
Cozy. Cozy.
it seemed
Nice.
nice.
Your own land, Joe. You wanna
Hey,
It's a
I-
ranch.
Live in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere. Yeah,
But you
bud.
do get, I mean, stipulation with that land is that you do have bodies dropped off every once in a while. Are you going to be able to like deal
Oh,
with
from,
that?
like,
or-
like Jesse and fucking.
Well,
Walter.
The dude said he gets like 2 bodies dropped on his place like a month or something like that. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Dude,
the
I mean,
fuck.
they did make the connect like well I mean Breaking Bad started after this, but like they did have like the trailer that had been like burned. He's like, yeah, the fucking meth heads or whatever.
Abs or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that
True.
was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It was on the moment. It was on to
It's
something.
me, Joe. I
But
was
I
the
guess-
one who dropped the
I
body.
burned it.
Oh
Yeah.
my. I also wrote down though, because I had to look up when I don't know. I just looked it up for reference. What episode of fucking South Park they started doing the like they took our jobs thing? Because like
Oh.
just like the whole like thing with the illegal immigrants in this movie or book, I guess. Just like I'm wondering like how accurate that actually is, like if
Mhm.
something like that actually happened.
think
but
it's
also
like a
just,
bit
like-
too on the nose or what?
I don't know, maybe, but it's just like if I don't know at this time if people are like, oh, these illegal immigrants are coming in and taking they're taking our jobs, but like they're like if this is like a realistic situation where they're kind of like forced to be in these jobs or like they're somebody's gonna get them deported, then it's like kind of a different situation. They're not really taking your jobs. I mean, they're taking jobs, but like they're taking jobs that like nobody else wants
Yeah.
to fucking do.
Oh, yeah.
Shit jobs. Yeah.
I think there's some truth to it. Maybe not like direct one-to-ones, stories, but I feel like it's kind of a
Yeah.
reality.
I guess it was just like both those things were happening around this like period
Yeah.
of time, you know.
Right.
I don't,
yeah.
I don't know. Have you guys watched Channel 5 at all? YouTube
Mhm.
stuff? Okay. There's like a
Nah.
border crisis series he does where he's just like he goes to the border and has a coyote like illegally cross him over and just like talks to a bunch of people who have come over and
Cool.
that whole stuff is like framed in a crazy way through like mainstream media.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
He was mean immigrants from like Nigeria and like like Africa, like people who had like gone through like Colombia, like had
Yeah.
traveled all this way with the American dream in mind, and then got here and we're like, well, now what? So
Huh.
I don't know. It's just that story's crazy. The way
Yeah.
the perception of it is just crazy.
Hmm.
I'm sure that there's there's some truth to people here and getting jobs, but I think you're right. It's like jobs that otherwise Americans probably wouldn't want because they have
Yeah.
to want to get educated, high tier, whatever entry level kind of jobs. I don't know. That's my take.
It's complicated. That's my take. And
It
that's
is
kind of what the
complicated.
movie is trying to say.
Complicated.
Yeah. So let's get back to
Anyway.
uncomplicated things like just
Yeah.
watching movies, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
hell yeah. Let's.
What
do
would your
that.
guys' double feature be? Isn't that fun?
What did I put? Oh, I put Super Size Me. That's what I put.
Yeah.
I figured
Okay,
it
that'd
was
be good.
around this time. I didn't know for sure, but yeah.
I put Thank You for Smoking.
That's a good one. I thought of that
That's
one.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought
Yeah.
that a couple times when I was watching this, and like I know that's kind of more of just like a comedy.
This one's
I don't
it's
know.
definitely a
Commentary,
spiritual.
too.
I get a similar
Successor,
vibe. I don't
yeah.
know from both.
Definitely.
Yeah. This one I
100%.
feel like got darker than Thank You for Smoking, but like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. I guess. Is there any like really dark shit that happens in Thank You for Smoking?
Not really. It's kind of just
I
like
can remember.
winking at the idea, like the whole movie, I'd say. But
Okay.
that's a good pick. Yeah, I put The Founder. Kind of
Okay.
see the idea of like how fast food came to be, and then you watch Fast Food Nation and you show like where it's been, like or where it went. You know.
It's the prequel. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Would you guys recast anybody?
I debated on the main girl, the Ethan Hawke's niece, but I didn't really have a problem with her either. So
I thought she
I
was
might take that
fine.
one back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any.
I just put her because I didn't really.
Didn't know
Yeah.
her. No, I put Greg Kinnear, main guy, main Don. But he's fine, and he brings like a level of like mundaneness that's like that guy's that's a kind of a real guy, you know, that works in a company. But I just didn't really connect with like the performance. I was thinking about it too. Like most Greg Kinnear movies, like they might just be better with somebody else. I don't know, but I just
That's
put Tom
cool.
Hanks as like a first thought. At
For
least like
this?
I can
see that.
for this one, yeah.
Damn,
I like-
I don't see that.
You don't see it.
No?
He's a bit too like star powered, but I could see him playing middle management. You know,
I
if he
guess
did
it's
it
just
right.
like
He's average.
I don't know.
white guy
In,
for
in
sure.
my
Yeah.
opinion, Tom Hanks, especially like nowadays, which I guess is like if this was like at the time, if you casted Tom Hanks, it might be different. But I feel like he just has this like
Too charming.
sheen on all of his stuff that's like Tom Hanks, and like
Yeah.
like brand or sheen, I feel like just doesn't work for this movie for me at least. You know,
That's fair.
But,
Yeah,
like, I
I
don't
could see
know.
that.
because like I don't know, I feel like even like serious movies that he does sometimes are just like not as serious for some reason because he just has his personal like brand.
He's quirky.
Like I don't know, it was like
Yeah.
the same reason why he didn't work in. Well, I don't know. I guess he was just not right for.
It makes me
movie
think
makers,
of
but that's
the
not really
movie-
the same thing.
Sorry.
But yeah, sorry. What are you saying?
I was just saying it makes me think of the movie The Man Called Otto, which I never saw, but I was like,
No.
that's a Tom Hanks movie that I don't want to watch for that exact reason. Like it's just gonna be him playing him kind of in a weird way.
He's
Yeah.
dark. He plays dark in that one, but it doesn't
Yeah.
fully work because
Yeah.
it's Tom Hanks.
yeah.
I mean, in the beginning of the movie, he like tries to commit suicide, and then he plays Tom Hanks for the rest of the movie. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's a weird one.
Like, there was one where he like I don't know, he has to get into basically like East Germany.
Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
And
Oh,
like
so- yeah, it's pretty.
it's pretty
bland.
solid, but like like his performance wise,
It's fine.
he like I felt like he needed to be. He wasn't the right guy for that role. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's a serious movie, and I don't really get like
I
a
can see that.
serious person from him. Like
Yeah.
a jokey.
That's why, like, I think he could play like aloof okay in this role. But maybe not as like maybe there's a better pick, but like he's got like the shocked like they're shitting here. Didn't you realize? Like he
That's
can
true.
play shocked at. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm picturing that now.
there you go. You heard
So
it.
maybe he'd be like the boss, like the CEO dude. Who's
Yeah.
like, there's shit
maybe.
in the food, man.
Right.
Yeah.
He play that
Maybe.
guy. Like,
I
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah.
But Bridge of Spies, yeah, I mean that movie would be way better with somebody else, 100%. All right, let's freaking power through this, right? What you
Sure.
guys got for nitpicks?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't really have nitpick. I think I kind of said at the beginning with like clearness. Even though you're like left with that last image, like
Yeah,
which I think drives home the point. It's just like
Yeah, I think
it's not clear throughout. I think
if you could
as
somehow
much.
just like have like
I
a
don't know.
more clear message or bring some clarity to what you're trying to say, But I don't really know how you would do. I don't know. I don't have any
Yeah.
ideas of how you could do that with this movie. I don't know. Usually, I feel like I do.
I think like if you want it more clear though, the worry would be that it's too on the nose, or it's like, oh, I get it. You know, like,
Yeah,
like I
since
think
there
it,
are like multiple things that they're highlighting, so it's like I
right.
guess it
Right.
was hard to make it like clear for like one thing. but,
Definitely.
Yeah,
I kind of like the grayness of it, where it's like, oh shit, I kind of have to understand like when I go to McDonald's now, I kind of have to like do the thinking myself on like the ramifications in a way. I don't know. Yeah, the only
I've had
nitpick I
fast-
had. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just random thoughts here.
the only nitpick I had was I didn't like how they referenced McDonald's, because I kind of like took Mickey's to be like the movie equivalent of McDonald's.
I did too. And then like 10
Yeah.
minutes in, he's driving by McDonald's,
Right.
and I'm like,
I kind of wish that they left it open to be like it have more teeth. I feel like if they were trying to be McDonald's in a way, you know, but they kind
Yeah.
of just like back into like this fake
I
restaurant.
mean,
that
they
nobody
call
really-
it a fucking big one.
Yeah, right.
Big Mac.
So yeah, I was
Whopper,
trying to
yeah.
like mix
A
up
Big
some
Mac.
shit.
That's a Big Mac.
Well, Burger King does have a Big King.
You just gotta put "big" in the title, and people
I don't think
want
they
it.
had it back then, though. I don't.
Yeah,
Wait, are you for real?
I'm pretty sure they do have a burger called a Big King. Yeah,
oh, I didn't know that.
I can Google it.
Okay, Clever Girl. I have this one. It's early on, but they're talking about new products, and they say "Little Big Ones" is like the new idea. That's a really solid name
yeah.
as like a satirical element of what they're like trying to get at.
Yeah,
Because like I feel like it's like how they view children, like advertisers view children, where it's like that's a little big one. Like they're gonna grow up into an adult and they're gonna buy our product. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
I thought that was like a really smart name. So
Holy shit!
nice try.
Apparently, the Big Kings have actually been around since 1996. Sorry to cut in. I just like
God damn.
I've never had one.
it was
they've
originally
been
called the
around.
Double Supreme Cheeseburger, but it was basically just came out to rival the Big Mac.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
And they didn't think the Double Supreme cheeseburger was
Yeah.
people didn't like that
Bring it-
name.
Imagine
Bring
that,
it
dude.
back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in.
No, you're good.
Carry
Yeah,
on.
you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, could a TikToker watch this one, boys?
No.
I don't
No, don't
think so, but it's like
Well, maybe. It's yeah. Go
like
ahead,
if a TikToker could watch this in like a short, if you just had like a sequence of like cuts from scenes,
Yeah.
then yeah. But like I don't really know. I feel like I'm always gonna say no.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. We got to break this one down, I think, to kind of figure out how we want to decide. I
The
just
only
put.
angle. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the only angle I could see is like the idealist of Gen Z, of being like,
Yeah.
we should be food conscious and health conscious and
We are
all
a
that
fast
stuff.
food nation. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like holy shit, we're not woke to this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I just put nah because it's too scary. They don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
Too
yeah.
spooky. Sequel, prequel, or remake? You guys got any good ideas?
I think
I don't
maybe
know.
sequel. I don't know. Prequel seems kind of redundant with like the founder and
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
as
Not
new
really much to do there.
Hey, you can
Yeah.
go 20 years in the past,
before.
to the time that Bruce Willis is talking about.
Yeah. See
I
how
would
he
like to see
hired
more of that
what's her
story.
face.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
20 years
I
ago.
really don't. I don't think any of those fit for this.
Here's my idea. You ready?
Yeah.
It's a hyper pop fast food nation set in the future.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
You got Mickey's and you got like 2 or 3 other conglomerates. Everything else has been absorbed. And it's supremacy for the
Dude,
global
how about
brand of fast food.
I fuck with it.
Wendy
And you still
King's-
follow. Yeah,
Wendy-
right. It's like an
Big,
amalgamation
like
of like
birds.
everything. Yeah. And you
King
still follow like
Wendy's.
different
Yeah,
characters.
McDonald's.
It's just even a more depressed like landscape in the future. Everyone's more
I
sad.
mean, we're
Robots
basically
are
making,
deliberate.
like Idiocracy at
Yeah.
this point, right? Like,
Right,
Yeah.
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be some weird plots with like lab grown meats and shit, Like you could
Mm.
there's stuff you could do maybe there if you
Yeah.
make it weird.
I agree. That's pretty good. I'd watch that sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more energy. I'm picturing almost like Scott Pilgrim-esque. It's like a TikToker could watch that one, you know? That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Put some neon, maybe some AI voice in there.
Yeah, some
call it a
flashing
fucking-
lights. Oh, yeah.
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 They have like an animated character that greets you at the restaurant to order.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's all coming together. I think we got
There's
this
little
one.
subway
written.
surfers in the corner of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Final question, boys. What's the stars for this one? What you gonna give it?
I put 3. for
I
this
gave it
one.
3,
Yeah.
which is weird because all 3 of these
All
movies
of
I gave
them.
3 stars.
Yeah.
That's what I did too. I moved one of them down to 2.5, but
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
would put the scanner directly down.
I forget
That's
which
fair.
one.
This one stood out to me though. I'm between 3.5 and 4. Honestly, I think I can easily go 3.5 and not. I like
Yeah.
that, but like I'm honestly like wondering if this is a bit smarter than like I originally anticipated. I saw the letterbox ratings and people don't like this movie, but honestly, like maybe 2 out of Linklater's movies, this feels like smart and kind of current in a way when it was made, and like had more things to say than the Newton brothers, you know, and shit. Like
Yeah.
I feel like this one stands out in his filmography a bit more than others. So
I think it's
Yeah, I
weird.
can see that.
I mean, it's probably just because the last scene that this has lower ratings, because this has lower ratings than A Scanner Darkly.
that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's insane. Like,
That is
It's
crazy.
Scanner Darkly has like a cult following though. Like people really like it. That like it.
Yeah. Probably people who read the book. I would
yeah, they go
assume.
fuck
Sure.
themselves.
Facts.
They
Yeah.
can crack your rating and digest. See how you handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can come back when you finish it. Like,
No, I bet the lower rating for Fast Food Nation though is because like people don't want to think about that shit. Honestly, it's like
Yeah.
off-putting in a way. Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
interesting because I found, I mean, of the 3 movies we talked about, this was definitely the most thought-provoking of the 3. Like,
Definitely.
More conversation happening. Yeah.
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 Or at least I don't know. I was thinking about it too more
Mhm.
than the others.
That's
Hey.
good.
I don't know.
I mean, I remember
Yeah.
when I watched Super Size Me for the first time. That was
Yeah.
enlightening shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of
Definitely.
like that, but
Mhm.
That guy died. I'm pretty sure.
He did
Really?
recently. Yeah.
I think yeah. It was.
Yeah.
of obesity or what?
I think it was just like health-related stuff. Somewhat. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe cancer. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh, all right. I apologize. rest in peace.
Yeah.
Complications
right.
from cancer.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Joe, do you want to talk industry before we hop off, or do you want to wait till next week? I have 2 more episodes to go.
I did start watching that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Really?
I
Okay.
did. I'm
What do you
in
think?
mid second season. I like it.
Okay, well, binge it, and then we'll talk next week. How about that?
Okay.
If you finish it,
Sounds good.
we'll talk
Yeah.
where
How
we're
many
at.
seasons are there? I didn't
Just
even know.
finished the 3rd.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think
Cool.
they got renewed for a 4th, though, if you didn't know
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, that is interesting because I mean, like they could have ended the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Curious.
I mean, I know they set
curious.
it up to like go on, but like, I mean,
Can
the
always
finale
reset.
of the season really could be the end of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, if there
That's
just
good.
wasn't another season, they that could be fine.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm curious. I think
Interesting.
this season has been my favorite so far, so
Yeah, this season is.
it's good.
I feel like I
Alright.
just like care about the characters more.
Definitely. Yeah,
Seasons.
for sure. I want to see like
Yeah,
how
no,
they end up.
I loved the first season, but after what's his
Me too.
name got relegated or promoted, I guess, to like clientele
Eric.
relations or whatever. Yeah, Eric.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, I don't know. I liked the dynamic between him and Harper. a
They
lot.
shake it up. They do good TV work where it's like, let's kind of split the characters up through plot, and then maybe let's find a way to kind of
Yeah.
reel them back together, and like, it's
Yeah.
pretty well done.
I'm realizing that with the main dude and the client that
Mm.
the woman, the lady client
Yeah, the one
Oh,
that's like always
yeah.
trying to get with people.
representing them. Yeah.
Robert and her.
Dude, that
Robert.
first
Yeah.
season and still like maybe in the second season, characters just drop off in that show, and like you'll never see them again. It's great. Like they shed characters at a rate that I was like, this is like, I don't know if I like this because
No,
I'm
just like-
investing.
Yeah, they don't.
Mhm.
I'm. That's like another reason why I'm like, this has to be the end of the show because like
Characters are limited.
they don't really have enough characters to like
Uh,
go with.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I also
Yeah, we'll
just
see.
like
I
I
trust
think
him.
my biggest gripe with the show, I'm cool with everybody except for Harper. I don't understand her character at all.
I like her character. I think
Yeah.
she's hard to understand, and that's like the point of that relationship with her and like Yasmin. It's like this constant question of like, does she care about people or is she just selfishly acting like for her own ambition? And I think it's like hard to answer it. I mean, obviously I lean in one direction, but like
I do too.
I
I would
understand.
say she only cares about herself.
Well, that's we'll
It's
talk
pretty
more in the
clear.
third season. We'll talk more about the third season because there's moments that like in the writing they do very well to like make you side with her or she's doing the right
She
decisions.
fucks people over all the time.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 100%. I'm not like
And I feel like
arguing
she
in
fucks
that.
people over like
That was like
at like
main deal
2
in the
or
first
3
season.
more times opposed to when she would do like one nice thing. It's like one thing that would be like nice to somebody else versus like 4 things that she doesn't
Yeah.
fuck people over.
I guess like when I'm like looking at a character in that world though, I'm like, oh, terrible. I'm watching a terrible people and every character in that show is like a person I wouldn't want to talk with. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
with
No,
her,
Robert is pretty.
he's fine.
Robert is-
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Robert as a character,
Yeah,
okay.
he's fine.
but I don't know. I'm not as far as you guys are.
But when you like set this character cast and like this intention, when I follow Harper, I'm like, she's ambitious. She's in this, and constantly she's telling people like, "This is the industry, bitch. Like, you need to fucking step up. You need," and like I kind of get it. Like, it's cutthroat shit, and she's like the winner in this situation, which is like a protagonist that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get what I'm saying.
Sure,
And like
yeah.
with Yasmin, it's like that's the
Ah.
one person she might care about, but
Mhm.
it's very touch and go if it's true or not. And I like that conflict too. So it's like,
So I
is
guess
there
like
some
do you
juice?
want Harper to
Interesting.
succeed? Like, is that what you're saying? 'Cause
Uh,
I feel like you said that in I don't know. I just
I
like
could see that. I could be fine with that. I when she's cut at the knees at ends of seasons, or when she like is fucked over, I feel like I want her to win. So like maybe,
yeah.
even though
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, obviously she's bad, but
Yeah.
it's a good show. I mean, that's why it's good. I like the characters are complicated, and I can understand them still. So
Yeah, but also the characters aren't that complicated because like they all
Uh-huh.
just have some kind of vice where it's like they're either fucking alcoholics, drug addicts, gambling addicts, or like
Sex addict.
I don't know, and then they just don't deal with their problems in a decent way. They just keep going to their fucking job.
Yeah,
that sounds complicated, but yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess, but it's like you could just adjust your life to where you're not like
But then there's no show,
Well-
Joe. Then you're just watching people at work in an office, and then like,
watching The Office.
but there's a show there because it's funny and shit. You know, like you got to have conflict.
Yeah, I mean you're right. I just like I don't know. I just like
Stop stirring the fucking pot.
I don't
Joe.
really
Yeah.
get shows like this. They don't really work for me, and people rave
No.
about them, and I don't get it. I don't really get
Wait,
the
so-
obsession.
Because this is like very Succession-esque in ways.
Well, yeah.
Did you
I mean,
like Succession or
especially
no?
like this latest 2 seasons. I feel like it's like
Oh yeah.
they're set up with I don't know one main client basically, and like that's kind of what was happening at least the last season of Succession, from what I remember. Where they basically have like, or maybe the last 2 seasons, where they have like one big sale basically that they're like prepping for. Like
Yeah.
one main client.
Definitely the last season. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, from the second season, that's like the impetus for Harper fucking over Eric at the end of season 1. No, she like signs what's his name, and then season 2 has been just dealing with that during COVID, like the healthcare pharma dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's repercussions for the actions.
Okay,
You feel it.
I was wondering. Yeah, I was wondering what the shit.
That's-
It hasn't happened yet. So
Yeah, no, I mean, it's why it's like a really well balanced show because it like lets the characters kind of thrive, and then like something happens that sets them back.
yeah. All right.
And it's
I mean,
kind of
that's
like
very
life.
Succession-esque. And,
Yeah. I'm really digging Yasmin's story in the third season too. That's a cool little
Yeah.
left turn.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, but we can talk more. Talk more next week when I got 2 more episodes, and maybe you'll be able to binge it. So we'll just talk overall.
All right. Sounds
Go.
good.
All right, good talking, boys. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week for more Linklater and some more current stuff.